And we've got video. Very well. Impressive. Where have you seen a preacher with a Boca jersey? Never before seen. Shabbat Shalom, my most esteemed and beloved friends. Shabbat Shalom. I think you were disconnected. Shabbat Shalom, my most esteemed and beloved friends, LVE lineage, judges of heaven and earth, and everyone else listening. That's the way I like it. Shabbat Shalom. Today is Shabbat. We are 7 days away from an astonishing event. Today is the 13th day of the 7th month of the year 5992 from creation. This belongs to October 28th of the year 2023, and we shall study yet another chapter of Revelation 17, the 7 kings and the end of Babylon, part 54. And today it bears a different title, GAZA, part 1. Of course, it is a title which holds in all the events that it's going on in the whole world. Does it have anything to do with prophecy? We could say that it is per se yet another sign, but because it's not a sign of anything, it's a whole conjunction of events and prophetic events. It won't be long today at all. I don't want to forget about the flowers today, but today they are Boca flowers. They're spectacular. Many things, Minto and Haiti. They are barbarous. They're extremely excellent. We have Boca Juniors flag that we put up in the invitation. Spectacular. We have the Jacob scarf here, also by the date, Jacob. Last Shabbat, it was wrong. It said, I put Etanim 7, but Brian corrected me. It was Etanim 6. Now you all know that it was Etanim 6. It's corrected, the 13th day of the 7th month, and I have lots of things to say today, so then let us begin with a word of prayer. Beloved Yahweh, we give you thanks for life, for making us live in this last trajectory of this world. We give you thanks because you always give us motives. You give us everything necessary that we can all be paying attention with hope, because we know we're living in the last days. I ask you that we may comprehend every aspect of what we shall study about today in your precious name, Yahweh Sabaoth. Alleluia. Very well. Mikal, we just started. Very well. The Lord has blessed with the Mary of Life the following members of the Eternal Truth: Sara Edisa Panama, Leandro Serrano, Argentina; Juan Sebastian Hernandez Andrade, Colombia; Osman Jeronimo Colis Ochoa, Honduras; Saili Adredi Cordero, the Dominican Republic; Isaí Hernandez, the US of A; Sariel Enoch Sangrone Ramirez, Venezuela; Elizabeth Gonzalez Gutierrez, Mexico. To each and every one of you, a great big hug on behalf of the Eternal Truth. Many blessings, and may it be the last one under the government of Babylon. I'd also like to congratulate and welcome into the Eternal Truth 7 more baptisms that took place on last Sunday, October 22nd of this year 2023. And the following ones are Josefa Beltrán Peña and Roman. The only thing I want to highlight, her age is 87 years old for Josefa. Josefa Beltrán Peña, 87 years old. It's never late. Nereida Peña Beltrán, Wendy Beltrán Valdés, Yared Sidra Ramos Peña, María Guadalupe Ramos Beltrán, Ana Gabriel Hernández Ramos Brisa, Denise Dolores Vicente. To each and every one of you, a great big hug and welcome to the Eternal Truth. Congratulations for having taken the step of baptism in the name of Yeshua, which is the command that Yahweh gave under the flesh covering that he had when he made himself be called Yeshua. He says, call me by this name so you understand that I am. So then that was absolutely fundamental to get baptized under that name. A very special group you belong to. Welcome to each and every one of you. Tomorrow begins the sixth feast in the calendar. Pardon me, the seventh. We just went past the sixth one. I hope all of you had a very nice day, even if you were a little hungry in Yom Kippur. We were doing okay, super bored, super hungry. That's what Yom Kippur does. But I hope that you all enjoyed it. You can enjoy whatever you can enjoy. It's already passed. It's behind us, the sixth feast, and here comes the seventh one, the seventh feast. The seventh one is Sukkot. And what does Sukkot represent? Sukkot represents the seventh millennium, better known by those who study the Bible quite a bit, the millennium, only the millennium, because it's the greatest in the week. It represents the Shabbat, the greatest day of the week, the day which you have to listen to me. Imagine if it's not the greatest day of the week. And today we're here with the Boca jersey. So then you come, Shabbat represents the best of the week. It is the rest of Yahweh in which humans are the Lord. How will that be fulfilled? It is fulfilled during 1,000 years on earth. The earth will suffer a structural and brutal change, economical and spiritual and physical change, government change. The new world, eternal order will start to reign, because it's not the temporary new world order, not a new world order that will last just a little bit. It'll be eternal. When the new world order goes into effect, it'll be forever, forever and ever. As we say in Spanish, it'll never be brought down, because it is the government of the sons of Elohim, the government of the Messiah, the government of the Mashiach. Yahweh rests. Evidently, he rests from his creation, which it took him 6,000 years to create all this mess, this whole creation. So then the seventh day he says, okay, now it is your work. You are the owners, masters, and lords of this special group. You're the Lord and master of this period of 1,000 years. Do whatever you want. What I've already taught you, what you know that you have to do, I trust in you. It is your kingdom. You have 1,000 years to later integrate the rest of humanity. Impressive. You cannot understand it in a better way other than look at Sukkot. Sukkot is a spectacular feast. It is a feast in which we go out of our daily routine, which lasts 7 days, and then there's an 8th one. Basically, we as a group, we decided during those 7 days and the 8th to abstain from alcohol. We decided it so, to not drink alcohol, to enjoy those days in the best way possible. I advise you, don't take those days as if you want to go and look for adventures. It's not the day to go and look for adventure. I know a lot of people like to go and they go to the mountains, or it is not the spirit of the feast. Even if you believe it or not, the spirit of the feast is to be in some place, is not to go out and travel. I know sometimes, since we don't understand the spirit of the feast, sometimes we celebrate in an incorrect way. The spirit of the feast is to celebrate. in whatever possible, in whatever you want, along with somebody that believes the same as you, and to be in one place. That is what the people of Israel did. They didn't go traveling everywhere, but they would gather together in one place where they would eat and chat. They would drink alcohol and all the rest. But we are doing a different vibe. We are waiting for Yahweh to speak through his boca, his mouth, in Rio de Janeiro. It has lots of connotations, like I've already told you, on the 7th day of the week, on the 7th day of the 7th feast. And we are waiting for the 7th cup to be handed in a year which is called 2023, which adds up to 7 in the year of the Jubilee. Jubilee has 7 letters in the word. It's all 7. What will Yahweh say? That I don't know what Yahweh will say. Yahweh will speak. He could say, "Nah, you have to wait. You're a disaster. You're a mess. You have not even learned what I expect you to learn, so then you'll have to wait." So then, like I told you last week, it won't be my fault. It'll be your fault. It'll be your fault. You who have not learned the lesson. Very well. Tomorrow, that spectacular feast begins, which represents the millennium. Going on to a different subject, well, just some guides, because I didn't want to tear too much on this. We generally go out of our rooms and we sleep outside. You do whatever you want, just make it something special. Don't put them out in the cold if somebody's too old. The kids, small kids, don't put them out in the cold. Do whatever you can and whatever you want, really, whatever you want. If you can sleep outside on a tent, then do it outside or inside. You don't put any tent, then don't put any tent. But it's a week in which it must be in one way or another different, celebrated with different spirit of unity, because it's the feast that represents the Messiah. It is the kingdom of the Messiah. It is a lot. It's got a lot to do with what Sukkot is. Very well. So then tomorrow begins, but of course at sunset, because today's the 13th. When the sun goes down, it's the 14th, and tomorrow Sunday, when the sun goes down, is when the feast begins, but barely then. Those that are going to put up a tent, like in the instructions says, how to celebrate that feast, those of you that want to, they would put up the tents on the 15th day in the morning, and on the 15th in the morning, that's really when we start. But the feast begins in a non-workable day, which is at sunset of Sunday. It is no longer workable in the sense of working like a slave for anyone. So then it starts tomorrow at sunset. Sunset is when the feast of Sukkot begins, the 7th feast of Yahweh and of the sons of Elohim. Very well. The rings. We are done one day prior to Yom Kippur there being. I even thought of Tuesday itself, but we did a special job at the post office, and we sent every single envelope of the people that have asked in their own time. Actually, it was everyone. In their due, everyone that asked for it, in their due time, they asked me and they gave me their address, the number. They were all sent. So they have all en route of those that have ordered it. In my point of view, it is a period that has been fulfilled, and fulfilled right before a very important feast. With this, I'm saying, and you know how that was able to be achieved? That was able to be achieved. I'll tell you how. Because the rings, the jeweler that does one by one, asked them extras of what I thought. I asked for some extras, and the last 30 or 40 rings, and I believe a little more, I covered him with the extras that I had, which were the numbers, like they say in Guatemala, the cabal measurings, like right exactly the measurings that they asked. Just to wrap up that stage with the extras right before Yom Kippur that I asked, that I thought that would be necessary, seeing the future, looking at the future into my mind, they're all covered, and that is absolutely, even I was marveled. I was like, I can't believe it. Yes, because if I were not asked for those extras and the right numbers, there would have been a whole more month, at least. So, am I saying I'm not going to accept any more orders? Actually, I'm going to say this. The period of rings, the way I thought to give them, is over, whether you have the money or not, as long as you would have a commitment of paying them however you can or whenever you can. Now, from here on out, whoever wants to have a ring, which I don't know if they should or not, but I won't close the door, but whoever wants to have a ring from here on out will have to pay for it full before I order it. It's over to finance them from the LVE and the will of saying above from what it is cost and above from the $200 that the ring costs, I pay for it and then you pay for it however you can. That's over. So then whoever wants a ring, they're going to have to pay in full, and out of the value, I don't know, because the jeweler could vary the value. So then, actually, those who want, now it'll be different. They have to pay the full value of the ring, and if it's not even worth more with shipping, in order for me to barely then order it if you want it, and then some time will pass by, because I've talked to the jeweler, there's no special price because there were so many rings, so that everything can vary. It could be, yes, we could still get in 200 or not, or more, that doesn't matter, but already everything what was given by grace per se, what was given by grace and in goodwill, I risk, and in our risk, that is over. Very well, I congratulate all of you that asked for it, and I hope that you enjoy it. There are exceptions in case there are no rings that get there or not, of course, but those that have asked for it already, they're en route already. Very well. So that it is a very special period that is over. Angelina's consult is free for everyone, for all who would like to have a consult. It'll also work during Sukkot, so you can call her, you can make an appointment with her. They can continue to work in the way that you have available. How can you get in touch with her? In the description of this video, it says perfectly well. It says Angelina's consult, and it's got her Facebook. A lot of people say, can you get me a consult with Angelina? No, I can't get you an appointment with Angelina. If you want to, write to her. Don't even ask me, write to her. That is something which she handles, not I, but she does, no one else. That is all that I will say. Those who would like to collaborate with this ministry of the eternal truth, you are welcome to do so, but of course, very well. Shema Israel, YHWH Eloheinu, YHWH Ekhad. Hear, O Israel. Yahweh our Elohim, Yahweh one is. This is the central truth. It is the fundamental stone, the most elemental truth that exists in order to understand the scriptures. Do you like this Boca Juniors jersey? It is 18 years old. Boca used it back in the year 2005. I love it. I already got the new one, okay? I know that maybe if some wanted to send me one, I mean, it's too late already. And Leslie has the new one. Look, show them. Let me show you the new jersey that I bought, Leslie, and I bought it for Brian, also for Angelina. So then this is the new one that I also have. There you can sit. Look at how precious. Aside from the fact that she's a beautiful woman with a beautiful jersey. Oh, she's jealous. Sophie, I won't touch her. Okay, I'd like to show you the jersey.
Yes, I'd just like to say hello. Yeah,
it was a gift, but it was my gift. Yeah,
everyone said, "Oh, how pretty is Christian's jersey?" Yeah, they call it the T-shirt. They call it different things. We call it a jersey. Well, did you like it? Yeah. The New Jersey, Boca Juniors jersey. Spectacular. Brian, come here. Let me show Brian. Oh, yes, of course, of course.
Spectacular. Brian, come here. Let me show Brian.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. Brian, get.
Brian, get Brian over here. Thanks, my love. Brian, here's Brian with the new one. Oh, what a body does this boy have? Look at his hair. What a hair he's got. It doesn't say my name back here, but oh well, it could say Silva. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Spectacular. Look at this hair. Oh, I loved it. Spectacular. Give me a kiss. Thanks. Thank you, Dad. Did you like it? I loved it. Nah, I am a Bostero. A Boca fan. Exactly. Senese, a Boca fan. Many thanks, Brian. Let me go ahead and sit down. Very well. Says, what is all this scandal? There's Christians watching, and they're like, look, another one says, I have never seen any idolatry together. Starting with Boca is superior to Argentina. I've already told you, if Boca plays with Argentina, Messi and all that, I want for Boca to beat him 10-0 as possible to humble them, because Boca is absolutely above Argentina. Above. Boca includes what Argentina is, and at a very superior level, of course, absolutely. What a level of idolatry, some guy said. It is time for you to leave. My friend, there are so many channels that you will love. You can have the Torah, you can have a whole bunch of things. Here we are dressed as Boca, even the flowers. Very well. What a good name of Yahweh. No, next Shabbat, it'll be short, very short. Because next Shabbat, well, it's 1 week away in order for the Boca of Yahweh to speak. And I hope he speaks things that we like, things that will satisfy us and make us jump with joy. For him to give us the 7th cup. To give us the 7th cup. Wow, marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of Elohim. It is to conceal the word. How is the word? It is concealed. Hidden. Covered. Yet it is the glory of the king, those who will be kings, is to search out, to understand, to discover, to uncover the word. Marvelous, absolutely marvelous. Amos 3:6-8, Jerusalem 2001. Does the horn sound, the shofar, the trumpet in a city without distressing the city? The trumpet will sound, mind you, in a people that will be shocked. It's called Rio de Janeiro. Does a disgrace come upon, an evil come upon a city, if Yahweh had not provoked it? No, nothing does the Lord Yahweh do without revealing, showing, opening, making known his secrets unto his servants the prophets. And if I would wrap it up right there, yes. Only the prophets prophesy. No. He had something else. Does the lion roar? A lion roareth. It says, who shall not fear? Who does not cause fear brutally by hearing a lion? Does the Lord Yahweh speaketh? Who shall not prophesy? And the one that will prophesy is through the Boca of Yahweh. The athletic club Boca Juniors will prophesy. They'll receive the 7th when they become King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Over, do we have to wait? Or do we have to wait? So then Yahweh prophesies by the symbols, by the things, by the rocks, the channels, by wherever he wants to prophesy. If he prophesies, if Yahweh prophesies, if Yahweh wants to say something through Boca Juniors, which is everything, in order for him to prophesy right there, he says, how will he not do it? Of course. How can he? It does go west past. It doesn't matter if the other team is way better. It doesn't matter. Like Maradona said, we could play with anything if Yahweh wants to prophesy, because he will prophesy in one way or another. You can't even imagine if Yahweh says, no, the 6th cup, I won't give it to them, I'll give it to the flu. Don't believe that some immediate end would get here, because that would be more than ridiculous. Yahweh does not play with the only ones that believe in this, because we are the only ones that really believe who he is. He doesn't play with that. So then, if there is a result for Yahweh to say no, we'll have to wait. I don't know, to the maximum. 2032, after the 30th, after everything, whatever he wants. But I believe that it'll be the moment. I believe it is the time, absolutely, the adequate time. That is what I believe. Of course. In my experience, let me say how I tell you this so you understand. Yahweh is the establishment. Yahweh is the boss. I obey the establishment as long I believe that that establishment actually has a mission, and that final mission is justice. In the moment in which I see no matter who Yahweh the Creator is, that I could care less. I do not obey Yahweh because he's the creator of everything, and whatever he says I do. No. That right there does not go with my being. Does not go with my being. I prefer to be destroyed, annihilated, whatever he wants, because he's more powerful than I am. If I do not believe in him, I do not do whatever he wants, even though I know that he's the creator. Let's see if you understand my words. Let me give you an example that comes to mind. A judge of a nation. He belongs to an establishment, because the judge was educated in the system of justice of that nation. He was honored, and he was received, and he was given the title by that nation, by the establishment. It's not that the judge of the nation says, "No, I'm a judge, come here." No. The establishment designed it, taught him, instructed him, graduated him, and gave him a title, or else he would not have a title. So then, the judge of the nation to which he belongs to, whatever it is on earth, all of a sudden he is judging something. So then he comes and he says that that guy is guilty. Let's say some politician or someone that has a lot of influence, Walker, let's say, of the Red Sea, with lots of influence. So then he says, these crimes, this manipulation, this theft of the nation, or whatever, this injustice, this guy belongs to go to jail, and for all his assets to be taken away. He has an order of the establishment that gave him the power, gave him the title, gave him the position, and says, this guy, leave him free. It always happens. The order comes. What does the judge do? What does the judge do? Two options. If he says, well, the boss above me, and I work for him, has a lot more power than I do. I am working for him. I am with a title that is his. I am with laws that are his. It's all his. Because I didn't create anything. The judge did not create a fucking law. You're telling me to let him go free, so then what do? I let him free. Would that be a good judge? Does he have the option of saying, I won't let him go? So then what does the established do above him? They take his family, they kill his family, or he dies as a suicide. That always happens. He has the two options. Well, the same one is God. God is the establishment. When I see injustice on his behalf, I go against God. And I tell it to God, to whomever. If I am now on behalf of God and stuck in the establishment of God because I believe in that establishment, and I believe wholeheartedly in that establishment. Everyone understands what the establishment says. Even in Spanish, they use it a lot. It is the system that is above you. The system. I believe in the system. Now, I would do the end of the world different. As I've told you, I would not use violence. I would not use, like Revelation says, I would do it differently, the end. But that does not mean that it could be better or worse. But that does not mean that I do not value what Yahweh is saying and how he wants to have his creation go forth. And since I don't see it as unjust, that there could be a better system, Yahweh. But oh well, if you insist, we'll do it that way. I don't find it to be wrong. I believe that there could be a better way in my mind. Look, what I'm telling you, before God, in my mind, I would do something else. if they were to give me power and they would say, look, do it, do however you want, I would do something else. I would not follow revelation. Maybe we'll end up that way. Like I've told you, we could face the beast that way. Well, we'll end up that way, but I would do it in a different way. Like I've already explained to you, I'll explain today in a different way. But either way, I would not be bothered by, nor would I be against what Yahweh wants, because I still see it as fair. For that same reason. But the day in which I see in mine eyes an injustice from Yahweh, then I no longer represent, nor do I anymore get on the side of the establishment of Yahweh. I come down from my position and I say, grab whomever else that serves you like a slave, but this thinking mind of something that I believe that is not fair, I won't do it. Abraham didn't do it, of course. Abraham said, hey, you idiot, grab your child. The only one I have, yeah, that one. Isaac. That's the only one that you gave me. Yeah, that one. Grab him and sacrifice him for me. There it is. Blind obedience to the establishment. I don't have blind obedience to God. I've told you this 20 times over. Now I have it, but it's not blind. It is entire obedience unto God, but it's not blind. I see what I do and why I do it. That is the difference. For no prophet ever in their fucking life ever said that. No, none else. They all followed it as a sheep because God said it. Since God said it, let's cut this off. Since God said it, let me cut your head off. Let's annihilate all this. Since God said it, we have to make that temple like that. Like God said it, so then always, like God said, this prostitute or this adulteress, we have to kill her. Like God said, we have to kill it in Shabbat because he was picking up wood. I'm not like that. I'm not like that, none whatsoever. I am at the service of the Creator because I like his way of acting and I understand what he does. But consciously speaking, I am not a blind soldier that follows orders. I've never been that. I prefer to be my existence to be destroyed, but to kneel down and obey orders that I don't understand. I don't have problems with obeying brilliant orders. Who doesn't want to have a brilliant boss? The thing is to follow in unjust orders that go against your own nature. That is the horrible thing. But to obey commands. We're free and just. It says we're going to do this in this way and it'll have this result. Of course we're going to do it. That would be so beautiful to have a brilliant leader. Not a stupid leader, not an unjust leader, not a leader that does not give explanations. Well, that is my position. The day that I see that God is unjust, or that I don't like his ideas, I'll say, I won't serve you anymore. I won't serve you. Because I would be a hypocrite. I won't serve you anymore. But today, I am 100% with him. Even though I have different ideas that could be a lot better that I could suggest, but that is what he's the boss. Very well. Very well. What does Zephaniah say? 1:18. Do you know what Zephaniah means? Well, I'll explain it up ahead. Nor his gold or silver can save him on the day of the wrath of Yahweh. Wow. When the fire of his zeal will devour the entire earth, it'll end up in a terrific way with all the inhabitants of the earth. What a tremendous text. Not just will he do away with the inhabitants of the earth, but he will do away in a terrific way with the inhabitants of the earth. Do you agree with this? I believe there's a better way. But I'm not completely in disagreement. They're not the good and just inhabitants of the earth. When we take all the prophecies and we look at them at the same time, because you can't just take one prophecy alone. You have to see all the prophecies and to see that none are misapplied. They all have to end in the same thing. They all have to say the same thing. They all have to have the same system and the same sequence, and all the rest. So then, the inhabitants of the earth that will end up in a terrific way are the ones which do not want and are enemies of the truth. That's the way it is. They're not all of them, but it's all the ones that are against the truth. Very well. It's a spectacular picture that Leslie thought about. She's like, it'll be right there in the back for the flag. Revelation 17, why is it still called Revelation 17? Because the base of everything is Revelation 17, the 7 kings in the end of Babylon. That is the base and the secret of all these prophecies. They have to coincide with this or else we're misapplying them. It says, then came one of the 7 angels, 7, that have the seven cups. That's it. We're not going to read more of the text. That's it. We don't have the 7 cups. We have 6. We have 6. Why? Because the one that speaks to you, the one that serves Yahweh, whom he chose for this, says he has 6. Because he made me from Boca. The one that made me from the eternal truth made me from Boca. And Boca needs 1 to be king of kings. Now the red one has it. The red one, it seems, the one that had the 6 cups, which is independiente. Very interesting. Okay, we could apply it that way. We could apply it in a different way. What does it mean to be independent? Because it's called independent of Avellaneda. The football club of Avellaneda, what is that? That club is a club from the city of Avellaneda, which is next to the Boca. It would already be not the federal capital, but it would be in the greater Buenos Aires. But they're stuck together. They're close to it. They're very close to it. Well, independent of Avellaneda has won 7 cups. It is the greatest one that has won cups with that name. And they have their stadium that says King of Cups, Independiente. How could we see it also? Like the way when Boca wins the cup, they'll be the King of Kings. What does that mean? That the independent of Babylon are also kings. You see how the King of Kings, it is because there's a group of kings. There's a group of kings that for their own merits, due to becoming independent, like independiente, independent from Babylon, from the establishment of Babylon, they became independiente, independent like their name is. So then those independents will be kings also. Not the king of kings, but there's only one king of kings. I am looking at this in titles and symbols. Has nothing to do with the group, with anything. It's just so you understand. Just so you understand. And actually, in reality, that's the way it is, because the King of Kings, the Messiah, actually comes after them. There's a lot that will be kings, because they become independent from the system, and they've won the 7 cups already. And before the Messiah is the last one that wins, and then after them, dead or alive, they will join. You understand? But the first ones are them. The very last one is the first. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is very difficult to understand. It's easy to understand, right? The King of Kings, his kings are independent of Babylon. It's all given to absolutely, for this to be something marvelous. When? In 6 days. When? On the 7th day of the week, on the 7th day of Sukkot, in the moment in which he always speaks forever as the eternal truth, now Yahweh will speak. He says, do something short and then I'll speak. Marvelous. I mean, marvelous to have Boca Junior's jersey here. When did you imagine somebody that would preach with the energy, with the strength and the authority, but to have a Boca Junior's jersey? It would seem ridiculous. Any Christian would say, what is this guy saying? I mean, is he ridiculous? No, you're the ridiculous ones, but you don't understand that yet. Okay, before entering into today's subject, let's talk about something else. But first, let me look at the likes. Let's look at the likes. Let's see if there's any likes. We have 249 likes with 252 watching. Good. We're not many watching. You can multiply it by 2 or 3. Many places are listening by 1, but it's a greater lineage. But so then, I don't know, maybe 1,000 what listening? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Exactly.
No, Leslie hizo parte de la secundaria, parte de la secundaria.
Part of her high school, Leslie was born in California, Santa Ana. First of all, Santa Ana, California. 5 years old, she went to Argentina because aside from her Argentinian parents, she had to have the Argentinian essence. It was It was 7 blocks away, right? Yes, in the same, very same. Exactly. It was on the just right around the stadium. It was just going around, just going inside. Exactly. In some years of study, she had in Avellaneda. Lanús in the east, Lanús. Yes, it's divided. It's divided. Exactly. Where we met. That is where we finished the high school. Very well. I want to speak about what I don't like about this, but I have to speak about this because I have to instruct you. I don't want you to misinterpret things and for you to make mistakes. I'd like to already start with the GAZA subject, but I have to dedicate some time to this. Very well. Since this was public, I'll answer it public, and since they asked my opinion publicly, I could do it personal, but it won't leave any teaching. I'm talking about Saul Sala's video that it did on Revelation 17. He was very interested in our opinion, how we liked it, if it was up to par. If it was up to par, and to top it off, he published it. I'm not going to talk to Saul directly. I could speak certain things to Saul, but you have to take this as an instruction, just like that, as an instruction, or else it was not good enough for me to have been here for 15 years instructing you. In 15 years, because I started speaking in 2008, in the name of the eternal truth is born, in 2009. But in order for that name to be born, I already had videos in YouTube, which was the way that the Hayer lineage met me, and we had great friendship with them, a base that Yahweh wanted there to be, even though there were chickens. That's already been left in the past. There was a friendship that they were just like they were also Adventist, obviously. There was a friendship. So with all the names that was spoken about, the eternal truth came out, which was the idea or the inspiration, I could say, better said, from Gabriel, because many names were thrown out. How would we call the ministry? Well, there I was just a little pigeon that started to speak. I didn't have any experience. My ideas was for everyone to preach, and as soon as they knew something that they understood from me, that caught my attention, I would tell them, yeah, you speak it. You want to speak about it? Make your video, do everything. This is message. We have to spread it unto the entire world, unto all the winds. I want translation. I want the people to speak, and so that's how we got a whole quantity of people that really wanted to speak like this. That's how it started. Pepito, also known as, you already know him, the shitty Pats, the CI, the famous CI, which he asked me for the non-preached sermons because he wanted to preach them before I did. I mean, complete craziness that I cannot even explain to what level people get to. When they see something brilliant, when they see something original, when they see something unique. authentic and something outside of what's common, absolutely. So then, of course, they caress the idea of they also to have that treasure. And they be the bearers of this, because the whole world, whether you want it or not, in greater or less measure, they have their own pride saying, I want to present this, I want to present this. But all those people are not an original source of whatever message it might be. So then they succumbed one after another. I didn't know this. It is my experience. It was born from me. The obligation of speaking, it would come from me, not to cut my own hair. It would come from me to have a different image without a tie, without being tied to the system. Today we see it all as a symbol, of course. I mean, the tie doesn't even make sense. But of course, back then, it was very, very meaningful to be tied like a dog to a system, tied to a system. I felt that authentically. I thought that I should sit to speak. That's the way I understood that I had to do it and communicate. Just like I also felt that I should say bad words, a whole image, an exposition, and a language and a way of transmitting it that was authentic. Absolutely, you can like it, you can hate it, you can love it, it can make you crazy. That is up to the person. I could care less what the people like. From the very beginning, they criticized me, cut your hair, wear a tie, even starting with my mom. She said, you speak too harsh. I can't even listen to you because you make my stomach ache. Imagine starting with my mom. I mean, the criticism was from every angle. I never changed anything. It had to be an authentic product, different to the rest, just like that, absolutely different. But in order for it to be a copy of something, it had to be different. So then going back to this, it gave me a sense of just seeing the people. I would already know why they say me, why they want that, what is the end goal. But as a judge, I have to give them the opportunity for them to show their fruits, because Yeshua said, by their fruits you shall know them. I still don't have the capacity of knowing, reading the actual spirit of the people, but just by the body language and their expression. And also next to Leslie, because she can understand an intuition that along with Leslie, we can pretty much see the people miles away. Sometimes we follow along their game, knowing how they are, because if you cut it before, you risk for everyone else that listen to you that don't have the sensibility and don't have your experience. They can't even notice a cow that is tied to a post. They could be on their side because they're saying, oh, they're unfair. If they knew us, they would say, wow, actually, there's a specific moment for that in order for them to act that way. So then sometimes we make things to happen. It's happened to us that sometimes we leave it to an extreme level, which we should have acted before, but we leave it, and then it becomes even greater and greater. And sometimes, and we look like the bad guys, because they really don't understand the intentions, because they still don't have that level as a judge of justice. They still don't have it. But today I'll teach something absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. Those that want to understand it, if you don't understand it, then you won't be a good judge. Just like that directly. It's not that when I kick you out, you're no good. You're no good for me, because your mind is small. It never came out of a box taught by your parents or your society or your way of thinking. So then the things have to be this way. No. There's a lot more than what they should be that way. There's a lot more than what it should be that way. So then, unless you have those eyes from a judge that's absolutely above the standards, the cultures, what your mom taught you, and what you believe You cannot be a true judge. Okay, so then.
Saúl pidió la
Saul
explicación del
asked
video si
the
estuvo a la
explanation
altura.
of the
Y de
video,
hecho, no estuvo a ninguna altura.
was it up to par? And until it was not up to par, it was embarrassing to watch it.
Para que aprendan.
I'll explain why, so that you learn not just Saul, but everyone that commented on that video, which were some of you.
Yo lo vi en vivo.
I saw it live.
Yo lo vi en vivo.
I watched it live.
Y la verdad
To tell the truth,
sentí muy
I felt
mal.
very bad,
Avergonzado,
embarrassed,
diciendo,
saying,
¿y qué hago?
what do I do?
¿Lo hablo con él?
Do I speak with him?
Si lo hablo con él, ¿qué voy a ganar?
If I speak with him, what will I gain?
Fue cuando él también después pidió la opinión.
That's when he also asked for our
Exactamente, pidió la opinión. Ahora
our
voy a decir
opinion
las
and all the rest, and I'll give the intentions.
intenciones.
The
Sentí
intentions.
vergüenza y me acordé
It was
del texto
embarrassed,
que
and I remember this text.
Marcos 8:38, Dios hablaba.
Mark 8:38, DHH says, Yahweh speaking, mind you, Yahweh.
Pues si alguno se avergüenza de mí,
For if any
de
man
mi mensaje,
is embarrassed of me and of my message before these unfaithful and sinful people, dog shit people,
también el Hijo del Hombre
also
se
the Son of Man
avergonzará de él
shall
cuando venga
be
con
embarrassed
la
of
gloria
him
de
when
su
he cometh with the glory of his Father and with his holy angels.
Eso me retumbó en la mente.
That really came to my mind.
El video
The video
de Saúl, de
of
Apocalipsis
Saul
17,
of Revelation
¿qué
17,
finalidad tiene?
what end goal did it have? Because we have to ask him when you
Cuando
preach,
uno habla, gente,
when you
es
speak to
una
people,
responsabilidad.
they have a
¿Qué quiero
responsibility.
transmitir?
What do you want to transmit?
¿Cuál es mi
What is my
finalidad?
end goal? What is my end goal? That it has to be
¿Cuál es mi finalidad?
the
El yo pararme
end of it all,
delante de las personas en un público
the goal to go into a public that does not understand many things or anything or nothing,
explicar
and to explain to them
un tesoro.
a treasure.
Un tesoro.
I'm talking about a treasure.
Te puede pertenecer a ti el
It could
tesoro,
belong to you, this treasure, that's fine if it belongs to you. It could belong to another person.
pero voy a explicar un tesoro.
But let me explain for a treasure, what is the end? That is the question. I'm going to tell it to all of you that commented on the video.
Todos aquellos que comentaban
All
el
of
video,
those that commented on the video, that I see that you don't have any brain cells to be judges, because it's embarrassing. It was nauseous. I was embarrassed. I didn't know where to hide myself.
sentir mal.
It really made me feel bad. How ugly to make me feel bad.
Qué horrible.
How horrible
Sentir mal a Yeshua.
to
Mira que
imagine
se avergüenzan de mí.
if you are embarrassed of me and of what I'm teaching,
¿Saben cómo yo me voy a
you don't know how I will be embarrassed of you.
Qué gran
I mean,
cagada
what a
pueden ya cometer.
huge dump he took there.
Voy a explicar.
Let me explain.
Entonces,
So then,
¿cuál es el objetivo
what was
de
the
hacer un
objective
video
of making a video
que pertenece
that does
a
not
la
belong
verdad
to you
eterna?
of
¿Cuál
the
es el
eternal truth? What is the objective?
En ese video
In
se
that
vio
video,
claramente.
we clearly saw it.
Buscar
To look
protagonismo,
for protagonism,
buscar admiración,
to look for admiration,
buscar ser
to look to
reconocido.
be recognized.
No hay más.
There's no more.
Él, Saúl me
He-
llamó,
Saul called me.
sí, intentó hablar conmigo,
He
pero yo
tried to
ya
speak
casi
with
no
me
hablo con las personas.
because I almost don't speak with people. I don't have time because I don't want to speak.
A ver si la tienen clara.
Let's see if you understand this. I don't want to speak. I want to talk to you.
Yo no quiero hablar con
I don't want to talk to you
porque
because
estoy ahora
I am
en
now
otra posición en mi
in a different position in my life.
verdad.
Tell the truth.
¿Querés, yo sí tengo comunicación con ustedes.
I do have communication with you.
Escríbanme.
You can write to me,
Pero de hablar conmigo,
but to
es
talk to
muy
me,
raro.
it's
Puedo
very
hacer una
odd.
excepción en algunas
I
oportunidades.
could make exceptions in some
No, escríbemelo.
point here and there,
Escríbeme.
but to speak to me, just write to me. So Saul says, I want to talk to you. I said, no, I don't have time, Saul. Write to me.
Escribió.
He wrote to me. He said, I'm going to present Revelation 17, and I just answered him. Okay, notice to give credit and to speak of the eternal truth and to speak, that's all I care about. Why? Why do I care about that? Is it about pride? No, it's not about pride. I want you to understand, and for you to value, and for you to feel that something belongs to you. The eternal truth is a ministry that has different values to those of the world, that has a different message to those of the world, that has different treasure to those of the world. But if you don't feel it as your own treasure, and that is in conjunction, because when I give you something, I am giving it to you, but that doesn't mean that I just let go of that and doesn't belong to me. No, it joins us. It brings us together, and you have to feel pride of feeling can join to a group that if you believe that it's a group that will be the owner, the absolute owner for all eternity. I have to be more specific. Because there's people that can misunderstand this. If you don't feel pride and passion about that, then you cannot belong to a special group. You can't belong to a special group. You cannot. Because if you don't feel pride of who the fuck you belong to, a person that says, nah, I don't know about religion, I'm extremely religious. This is not the established religion. It's not Catholicism or Judaism or Christianity nor anything to do with the fact, but that we're not religious. LVE is my religion. It is my life. LVE is my religion. How could I ever in my life say, if you say I'm not religious, I'm ultra religious, extremely religious? But that religious doesn't mean that you follow the laws, that you follow this and that. No. I believe in something with my whole heart, that I belong to a special group that's extremely special. Like in all the fucking story of this world that Yahweh will place in such a great treasure, such magnificently great. If you don't understand that, then you really don't belong to a special group. You think that you come to take information here and you can give it to your fucking friends. That is my question. You think so, then you despise the treasure which belongs to you. Like LVE. If the motive of preaching something of the eternal truth is not the end goal, absolutely, of bringing people to your group, of teaching and to feel the pride of saying, look, I belong to a group that I believe with all my soul that is the only group that has the truth. It's not that I don't belong to anything. How embarrassing. How you are embarrassed of me. You're embarrassed of me because I speak bad words. All the sons of bitches that are embarrassed of me, please fuck off right now. Right now. Because I tell you, and I'll remind you, and I swear by Elohim that I will be embarrassed of you. I'll be embarrassed with my whole soul, with my whole heart, and with my whole anger and wrath. You come to listen to me, and you're embarrassed of me, of the way I speak, of how I express myself. You are embarrassed. How do you expect to work with me for all eternity? I'm going to feel repulsion for you. Working next to me. You can go all to a different place. If you don't understand this, which is basic, it is because Yahweh really will not give us the seventh one until some group understands this. So some fucking group to feel special. Special overall. Special with a special treasure. How do you dare to make a video not to say, I learned this from the ministry to which I love, which is called the Eternal Truth with this address. Not my friend Christian Silva teaches it. Saul Salas, you were embarrassed to mention Christian Silva. I can't believe it. In fact, when you had to say it, you said, your voice broke, you son of a bitch. Your voice broke. Oh, like Eternal Truth, like a chicken's voice. It's embarrassing. It's nauseous. Your voice broke. This is the message of the eternal truth. I didn't want to say it. Wow. Instead of saying, this is not my friend. My friend's name is Christian Silva. I've never heard anything like it. What I'm giving to you, ignorant people, is a little tiny bit of the brutal message. Where is the source? Go to the source. I'm not the source. I'm just some idiot, some retard. I don't even can handle my life. You think this can come from me? No, you idiot, no. This goes a lot greater than what you even think. This really is embarrassing. You should have said, but my friend teaches this, and instead of saying you, my friend Christian Silva, my friend, he taught me this. And I am giving him such little, just so that you go to his channel and you see what I learned. He's going to teach you that. He's going to teach you so many things. I read Revelation 17. I can only show you who the beast is, who that woman is. I cannot even read that it goes on to perdition because I cannot explain it unto you. How can I explain it to you? You didn't even read that part. And all those sons of bitches, all the ones that commented from the eternal truth, none of you could say, Saul, send them to the eternal truth. Oh no, they were all clapping like seals. Oh, how pretty, how pretty. Give pearls unto the pigs, unto the swine. Why to a group of preppers? What are you preparing them for? What is the end of prepper group? What for? What is the end goal? What did you teach them there? So I'm not religious. In fact, if I get on the side that I'm listening to the video, I don't know anything about it. I don't know about Christian Silva. I can listen to him and say, I don't belong to any religious group. I'm not religious. I have a group of study. You know, the way I understand that it is your group, that the group is yours, that the group is yours, and that you get together with other people and you study and you get to that conclusion. You son of a bitch. I don't get any conclusion from anyone. Or else I'll just shut this channel today. I don't want any information from you, because otherwise there's not a true Elijah. But I mean, you have not understood before whom are you. I want to shut this ministry down because I am so about Rogerio, Saul's aunt. Many people, the kings are speaking. What the fuck do you have in your mind? How can you say the kings are speaking? Wow. I want to vomit. You don't have this much intelligence. I don't understand it. So, you don't buy me with money, with praise. You buy me when you're authentic. When you understand this clearly. The bitch that bore you, you understand this clearly, more than clear. When you know what you belong to, when you know what value the teachings have, when you know, and when the moment we're a group, that the only thing that we care about is this group, because it's got a mission. Those are the only valuable ones. The rest, the kings are speaking unto whom? Who the fuck are they speaking to? They can't even teach how the whore ends, not even the text. You couldn't end the text. And they go into perdition, and they are 7. And the 8th, and when the 8th cometh, he's one of the 7. And then he goes into perdition. He couldn't read it, because he had to explain how he goes into perdition. Who is the Lamb? Explain to them who the Lamb is. Tell them, who is the Lamb? Saul, explain it to them. What are you going to say, that you're the Lamb? Is that what you're going to say? Or your study group is the Lamb? They're going to fucking laugh in your face, because what they do is they don't have love. So then that video is absolute dog shit. If that was the end goal, say, look, I learned this from this source. I'm not the source. I go to the source. And I want for you, if you want to learn anything, to help you in anything, not to keep water, salt. Who are you preparing to the for what? What are you preparing them for? What is your end goal? Let me ask you before everyone, what is your end goal? For them to admire you. What is your end goal? I don't give any interviews. People ask me for interviews from everywhere. I don't care, but they can all fuck off. I don't do interviews with anyone. You know how many people asked me to interview me from YouTubers? A whole quantity that said, I'd like to interview you. I said, no, I don't do that. You want to listen to me? Come to my house or my channel. Interviews, I don't give to anyone. So then what is the function of having people to come and to be interviewed? Is to become great, to have a public, to have clout. It is the same spirit, like Pepito, the same spirit of all those that have left. They grab something and then with this, the value, I'll take this. And with this, I'll make my own group. John the Baptist. John the Baptist could not stop his... John the Baptist should have sent anything to fuck off and said, I'm not going to baptize anyone unless he tells me, baptize this guy for me. But from here on out, I follow the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. What do I care about my followers? I'm not going to preach. I want to learn. I want to learn. What do you have to give? You know the brilliant and the praise that Saul received. It hurts him because it's a shine that he does not have. He does not have. It's a brilliancy that is not his. It hurts him because he'll look for that even more, and it feeds him to a level which he says, well, if people are starting to follow me, I have a duty. Well, I have to think of a study. I'm going to give him the Star of Raphan. You sent me another study, Saul. What are you discovering? That the star of the 6 points is the Star of Raphan, 666. The Solomon had 666 measures of gold, and that means, and it's the number. So I taught you this years ago, just like that. I didn't even care about it anymore because I didn't think it was important, because I like the star, and they stole it. And for it to say 666 or the 66-degree angle, same either way. What do you want to demonstrate? You think that I, with a little map, a little picture, with that I can convince people? I convince with my words, you son of a bitch, not with a little picture. Not with a little picture. They say a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. I prefer my 1,000 words. But of course, Yahweh didn't give us a fucking image. Words. Where's the image here? Where's the image? Where are the images here? It says, do not make any images. Just read, and interpret. But the people are stupefied. Oh, Saul presented it with pictures. How pretty. Wow, how good. Everyone commenting like seals. No one wanted to say, what is the end goal of teaching this, Saul? This is our treasure. You're teaching it to people that don't go anywhere. You don't even take them to the eternal truth. Then why the fuck do you teach them that? What for? So then, and there's also people that wrote to me and said it was a horrible video. Those filled my heart with joy, and because I said, wow, a couple of them understand things. Mark 4:30-34. It also said, Yeshua said, it also said, with what words will we compare the kingdom of God? When it is sowed on the earth, it is the smallest of all the seeds. By a little mustard seed like that nobody could care about. But then it grows and it becomes the greatest of all the branches in such a way that the birds of heaven can smallest movement in all history of the world. Just like this. Is this a church? No, it's not a church. It is something, a seed that's so special, but that seed, when it gives fruit, it'll become the new world order. Everyone will come to them. That is the kingdom of heaven. But yes, it keeps going. With lots of parables, as these, he would give them the word, as they were able to hear it, but without a parable, speaking not unto them. And when they were alone, unto his disciples, he expounded all things. What do we learn from this? What do we learn from this? We learned lots of things. That this message of the eternal truth is actually for those that want to come here and want to learn from here. Disciples of the eternal truth, I could say, to come here. Those from outside, for them to not understand anything. Matthew 13, 9-17. Matthew 13, New Living Translation. Anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. If you don't have ears, don't you worry. If what I told you did not get to you and you said, wow, I can't believe it, don't you worry. It's not for you. Period. That's it. It's over. His disciples came and asked him, why do you use parables, things that no one understands, not even we understand? Why do you use parables when you talk to the people? With the people. Why do you use parables when you speak to the people? What does Yeshua say? You are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, he answered. But others are not. Those who listen to my teachings will be given more comprehension, and they will have knowledge in abundance. But those who do not hear will be taken away, even the little that they understand. That is why I use these parables. For they try to understand, they say, wow, they look, but actually they don't see. They hear, but they actually do not understand or actually hear. This is why I use these parables. Just like Isaiah said, when you hear what I say, you will not understand. When you see what I do, you will not comprehend. For the hearts of these people are hardened, and their ears cannot hear, and they have closed their eyes, so their eyes cannot see, and their ears cannot hear, and their hearts cannot understand, and they cannot turn to me and let me heal them. Cure them, save them from what? Save them for them to be in this group, they'll be saved. I don't have to explain that. The groups are absolutely highlighted. I don't want for the people to get mixed here. I show you the secrets that no one understands. It's not for you to shout out to the whole world. I speak to them in parables. Why? So they don't understand. So that they don't understand. But blessed are you within those that are blessed, but blessed it is your eyes because they see and your ears because they hear. I tell you the truth. Many prophets and righteous people long to see what you see, but they didn't see it. And they long to hear what you hear, but they didn't hear it. And this is 100% in the eternal truth to understand what the prophecies mean. They long to understand it. Daniel and all those that wrote the scriptures and all that lived up until here, they long to understand, but it was not given unto them. It was not given unto them. They long to hear, but they could not understand. You who understand, you hear, and you value what you're listening to is not for you to go and make your own personal project. If your mission is, look, I'm going to give you just a little tiny bit of it, but if you want more, go there. Because the only intention that I have to show you this is that if you want any ears, then listen. Maybe you come here and you bounce out of here. Maybe you see some guy wearing a Boca jersey and say, what is this? This is bad words. I can't stand some guy that has impure words while he's mentioning Yahweh. Then of course leave. That is the end that Yahweh did it so that they can't listen to me. Go fuck off. Fuck off, bitch. Just fuck off. You don't have to listen to this. It bothers you. You don't have to listen to it. It's not for you. It's not for you. And if you are embarrassed, you don't belong. What group? I don't belong to any group. No religion, nothing. I have a study group where we get together and we get to these conclusions. Wow. Wow. Absolutely wow. Did not even give the LVE website. I'm completely embarrassed with what I said. Those of you that were not embarrassed and said, oh, good, blessings, greetings, Saul, Maria Antonieta, like crazy. Is that her name, Maria Antonieta? Maria, or aunt? Rosa, you were like crazy commenting. Why? Because your nephew's speaking. That is what you have in your heart. Let's take from that guy that has a lot, and I don't want him to shine. Salvadorians would come here, and you know who they were. For example, they would come here and they would say, "You don't know how Pepito preached, oh, you have to listen to him.
Es que yo ya
It's because I've already learned. There are people that have hate. They hate this light, and they want to gaslight you and steal what you have and say that they learned it from someone else. But I don't think you're all that Argentinian. I can't be better than you. In fact, I'd like to listen from a Salvadorian, a Mexican, a Guatemalan, a Brazilian, because actually it'd be a lot better. It'd be for the glory of God. If somebody can give it, then this guy that is saying bad words and has abominations on his desk, he listens to heavy metal. How embarrassing. I'm going to explain to a Christian the one that I listen to heavy metal. He has statues like this of Eddie. That's pure Satanism. How can I explain to him? I can't explain to him. So then I'm going to make a food digested for them. I mean, don't even mention that. If he mentions that, if he is embarrassed of saying LVE, imagine if he says, and what he says, they think that we're the Mashiach. With what face can you say that? With what face do you say it? Tell me, with what face? No, I'm going to explain the text up until here, and that's it. It's over. Which is fabulous. Not just because I'm Argentinian or I'm from Boca, not because I am who I am. There's no more hallucinating message out there than the eternal truth. Whatever else that you hear from here is nothing. Aside from the fact that it's authentic, it is the truth that shines when you see it. Who's it for? It is for those that come here, not from those from the outside. You want to bring them from the outside, give them just a little speck, and tell them, look, come here. This is the with lots of pride said, I belong to this group. It pours out the pride out of all my pores. More than friends, they're a lineage. You see, you don't have a group. When you talk about a lineage, you can't be more of a son of a bitch. I can't understand it. I cannot understand it. Do you understand my words? Do you understand my words? Leslie says, I don't know. Did Saul understand these words? Did Saul understand these words? Did he comment or not? Or was he offended? Or did your sugar levels go up? What is it? Before teaching, prepping, you prepare your head to bring down your sugar levels, you idiot. You work on that. You work with yourself. What the fuck are you giving your time to others if you can't work with yourself? Do you understand that? Wow. If I'll stop doing whatever else and I'll work with me. What's demonstrated? The doctor says you have so many years of life. I have nothing now because I worked with myself. I work on myself. How am I going to be preparing the rest? You prepare yourself, you idiot. There's a grave problem in your health when you have diabetes. Work until you die doing that. I mean, wow. I don't understand it. I'm going to end up getting diabetes myself. No.
Exacto.
And all the idiots that were left in that weren't able to say, wow, Saul belongs to the LVE ministry like I do. You want more information? And I'm going to... Heido was there. Heido Lombardi, Rogerio, that other one. Whole bunch of the people of the Eternal Truth, all the ones in the video there, the Eternal Truth. None of you wanted to say, you want to know more? Enter here. But, I mean, you think that you can work with me? How the fuck, if you're not faithful, you're not faithful. What did you want to earn? What did you want to gain to convert a whole bunch of idiots? I mean, you want to teach them this and say, now, live your last days on this earth. Exactly. That is what happens. Start to revise your minds. Revise. Who am I? What do I have? What treasure was given to me? I'll sell everything for the eternal truth. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant. When he saw the pearl of great price, he sold all her stupid shit, everything that he had. He sold everything to obtain that pearl of great price. Do you see the difference? Did you understand the difference? But it is to say, I embrace this truth, and wow, it is exactly what I want in my life. If I say this truth, it is to say this is the best thing that happened to me, is this truth. Maybe you don't understand it, but if you want to understand what I understand or feel what I feel, come to this address. Because it's not for you, and it's acceptable that it's not for you, but I invite you to say, maybe it is for you. Maybe it is for you. That is what I have to say about that. You have to change, Saul. You have to change. Analyze yourself. Why the fuck do you have 8,000 followers of preppers if you're not prepared at all? Not even to give a sermon. Not even to say that you're from the eternal truth. Are you prepared? But you're preparing others. Don't be ridiculous, you idiot. Don't be ridiculous. Are you an idiot? That's why you have diabetes this high. For that same reason. Because you don't have things clear, the order. And those that said, I like that. It goes for all of you. For all of you. Every last one of you. And for it to be left in your conscience. You say, Saul, learn this, and I invite you to enter into the ministry of the eternal truth in YouTube. That's all you have to say. What did you have to say, Jairo Lombardo? What the fuck do you have to say? And it's for all of you sons of bitches. Like I taught you Germanic medicine, like no one. The only one that is better than me is Hammer, and since he doesn't speak Spanish, it's not even comparable to him. Let's start with that. Lots of you that I want to mention you always find that the niche, something of you, and you start to deviate with that, and you start to live your whole life based on that. Don't be sons of bitches. Those are our weapons. It is our part of a treasure that we incorporate. But it's not to teach him to the outside. Angelina, when she has her consult, she always invites him, do you want to listen to someone that will help you enter into the eternal truth where my dad preaches? But of course, it is in the eternal truth, the LVE official. But I want to tell you that you want to teach here and there. I want to teach. Who are you helping? Tell me, who the fuck are you teaching? What is it, your function? To divide yourselves? And to have your own little ministry. I teach preppers to 8,000 idiots. I teach Germanic medicine for those that want to listen to me. I teach, I don't know, food for this and that. But of course, we have different businesses, and they ask, no, I don't belong to any, I'm not religious, I don't belong to anything. I have a group. What is the end goal? What are you prepping them for? It is just personal pride. I don't do this for personal pride. If I had personal pride, I would shut this down, because I can't even stand you. I tell the truth, I would shut this down. But I have so much to give. Yahweh places me to speak, to give things that are mind-blowing, but it's not out of personal pride, you sons of bitches. I want you to understand this clearly. I've never done anything for personal pride. I know that what I do is supreme excellence, but not for personal pride. If I have that, when I was little, he says he doesn't have a grandmother, because he always says that he's the best in everything, and I was the best in everything I did. No, it isn't so. I don't need your pride, your praise. I don't need anything. That's why I measure if you're in the message or not. That's all. Absolutely nothing else. Not in the very least. For me, I could shut it down. So when will you act? Because already I'm tired of speaking and preparing people that don't understand, that want to understand things. If they want to mention me, they do it with embarrassment Some people don't even mention me.
Yo lo escucho porque yo estoy preparado, inmune.
I'm immune to what he gives. People, no.
Mi mamá, este loco. Si es
And
un
how am I going to tell my mom to listen to this if this is a crazy guy? The guy says whatever. The guy speaks. This is bad words. I can't understand it. No one will be prepared for this. Now he's wearing a Boca jersey. He doesn't have any religion.
es mi rey.
It is my religion. It is my life. It is the religion. It'll be the worldwide religion.
Que la semillita
It is the little seed. How the kingdom of heaven is a little seed. It is not Judaism, not Christendom. It's not the Muslims or your fucking religion where you were brought up in.
es una pequeña semillita.
It's a little seed that will be the worldwide religion. If you don't understand that clearly, then of course you get embarrassed and say, no, I'm independent. I'm independent.
Vos me podés convencer que
Can you convince me that emotion came to you? You should have said, my teacher is my friend, Christian Silva. That's what you should have said. There's no other thing that could have been acceptable. My teacher is my friend.
yo enseño una.
You know why I teach this, you ignorant son of a bitches that are listening to me. I teach you this only so you enter there, or else I won't teach you. You're pigs, you're swine. I would say that, but you could use other words. You say, you don't understand many things. I'm going to show you something to those who care. Look, I'm going to show you who the whore is, nothing else. The end, I cannot teach you the end, but I'll take you where I learned it, my teacher. And yes, you like what I teach, then you'll love this. You'll see how it all ends. What pride would I have left if I would have heard that? I would have said, wow, yes, what a message. That's the end goal of the message. Or else, why do you teach? Why teach? If you're not going to take them to the source, then why teach? Why do you teach them to hold water? To hoard water. I mean, I'm laughing because it's just so I don't explode here, I blow up because of the anger that you don't understand. Damn it. And I have just very little likes. I have 891 likes. What happened today?
Para 891 likes.
This has never happened in history. I want to add something. You want to come here and add something? You say it from there? Okay.
The thing is that you, Christian Silva, decided to call friends. So then, it came from you to call them friends. How does a person later cannot consider themselves your friend if you already gave them? From the get-go, I called you a friend, I called you a friend, I call you friends. In every one of the invitations. How can they be embarrassed of us? You think that I would be embarrassed of some of you? I mean, we placed this in public.
You think that I would be embarrassed of some of you?
I mean, we placed this in public. You think that...
You think that I would be embarrassed of some of you? No. In fact, I'll give everything for you. The rings, I paid them from my own pocket. It's thousands and thousands of dollars that I paid out of my own pocket. Out of the ones that I had, in order for you to have them, you sons of bitches. For you to have them. So that those that can pay for them, and however they can pay them, can come back to that. But I felt the need to bleed myself, If you want to pay for it, fine. And if you don't pay for it, that's fine either. But I'm going to order, it's thousands of dollars that I invested in you. How can you be embarrassed of me, you sons of bitches? Wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And also that you want to show yourself in public. I am the authentic Christian Silva. It is I. That's the way I speak everywhere. Do I not speak when somebody pisses me off?
Yeah, that's the way you are everywhere.
Do you see a difference when I speak with you or the way I speak or anywhere else? No, I'm authentic. That's the way I speak. That's the way I speak. That's the way I get upset. For example, you don't make me upset. They made me upset. Sometimes they made me upset, but there's other people that would make me upset that way. I'm authentic. How am I going to be embarrassed of you? Wow. I love you. But I get certain doubts. wow, I get certain doubts. It happened the same thing with the disciples. Peter, no, you know him? No, I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know him. That bearded guy that they're going to kill right there? No, not that son of a bitch. And he used bad words. That son of a bitch, I don't know him. Look, I'm not even from Galilee. You're a Galilean right there. No. That guy's a fucking son of a bitch Galilean. I don't even know him. Ben-Sona means son of a bitch. In Hebrew, many ask, what is that? A recipe or something? Right, Ben-Sona means you son of a bitch. Ben is son, you also son of. So then, we're in the same position as Peter, but is redeemable. If he changes, it's redeemable. If he changes because they don't change him, and what I said, you don't learn, then they didn't ever learn it. They never ever learned it. Very well. You want to say something else? If I don't say it, then I'll get a DHS, and then I have to get it out off my chest, and not out of the anger. It's just a deception, a big letdown.
Because they're stealing someone else's intellectuality. At least, let me invite you to watch this. The source. Right, we have the same problem in YouTube that they would steal someone else's creativity. Rosa says, I understand.
Rosa says, I understand. I missed out. It's not that you missed out. It's the only thing you had to do. I just missed a detail. No, you're wrong. And more than a reprehension, what I'm telling you. It's something tremendous what I'm telling you. It's not, Rosa, it's not that you missed that little detail. Is that your motive? Or that's not, you didn't do anything else.
Right, if that's not the motive to present Christian Silva. Exactly. All the eternal truth and the videos and all the lineage or anything else, so then what you're doing is just to show yourself. It's like I took a
car, but I didn't pay for it.
And aside from that we already have the experience.
I have lots of it. I mean, we see it leagues away when you feel pride of something or when you don't. And that's not a secret society. This is that we're not Masons. It is an open society. Because what I teach it for everyone. It's not that I tell you, hide this. No. If you can direct it to an open place in YouTube, which is here or not.
But of course, an open space, having the eternal truth, like what we were saying yesterday, the experience, the path, right? The little path of Boca. Then, everyone saw that he took a very precious jewel, very much. And he thought that with that he would have lots of followers. And you will obtain
very much.
And he thought that with that he would have lots of followers.
And you will obtain it because people say, oh, this is fantastic.
He was tried because a person that does not have authenticity then needs to continue to copy. And our doctrine was changed. What did he leave with? With nothing. Oh, you're talking about Pepito. Oh, okay, yeah. Pepito took...
Oh, you're talking about Pepito. Oh, okay, yeah. Pepito took the Father and the Son. Wow. He took the line apostle. Wow.
The greater majority of the eternal...
You've seen that. The story of Pepito, he saw that the maximum truth were 2, not 1 or 3. It's 2. It's only 2.
And we're gonna hide where I got it from. Oh yeah,
we're gonna hide completely where I learned it from. And also I take the doctrine that Paul is a false prophet. And I'm hot. Let me take off my socks so I can touch the floor. That Paul is a false prophet. He says this is the maximum thing. Where did he get it? Personal study, like Emilce said. Look, notice where they end up. Not that everything changed the source where it changes. How are they left with nothing? They have to look in Jewish messianic sources to continue to speak.
How many followers did he have? Nothing.
Nothing, zero, absolutely nothing.
absolutamente nada.
When there's not an end goal,
Cuando no es la fuente,
Everything else dries out.
exactly, there's no source, and they're not authentic. You're copying, you're stealing material. You're just empty, and you're not producing. Exactly. My question would be, do you all have the Boca?
Exactly. My question would be, do you all have the Boca jersey? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, some are publishing jerseys by any.
By any, the imitations, whichever, they're all good. They're all good.
cualquiera, tanto.
We'll give them a special spirit.
Le hace un espíritu especial.
I hope that
Jair has aprendido una lección.
you have learned a lesson today.
El resto de eso
And the rest that I remembered, said, oh, how awful that Jair didn't write on there. Why don't you come to the source?
les enseñó
He taught him just like this, come and study all of Revelation 17. We're in chapter 54 of Revelation 17. What? We're in chapter 24. I don't know how we have 800 likes. I don't know where they came from.
vino. No, ¿cómo va? Nadie puede pagar.
No, nobody can pay for my account. How can they pay?
Me muero.
There was a minute in which 800 people came, they gave us a like, and they left. Yeah.
Sí, fue.
Yeah, Yahweh sent him. It says go there because it's good.
Está muy bueno.
I'm just playing.
We didn't do absolutely anything. Like Pepito that pays for viewers. They're like,
No entendemos nada, pero este está hablando.
They're like, it was Boca fans. They're like, we don't understand anything, but we're from that religion, but he's wearing this one. I'm going to come and listen here and then fuck it all to hell. The preacher wants the seventh one, then long live the preacher. What's his name? The eternal truth, all fabulous. I mean, not even to mention that is hidden in the preaching. That is hidden, extremely hidden. Very well. We start with GAZA 1. We start with GAZA 1.
Gaza
I'll teach very little because I will speak very little. We start with GAZA 1.
1.
Chapter 1. Gaza. That's it. Gaza have anything to do in prophecy? Like, you know,
Como ustedes saben,
no prophecy can be studied alone because none can
ninguna puede desentonar.
be out of place. That's first of all. Second of all,
Segundo lugar,
if the prophecies, if it doesn't have a lot to do with the end, it really doesn't have a lot to do with us. Yeah, for history, but for us, it has to do something with
con respecto con el fin, sino
the end.
vamos a estudiar
Or else why we're going to study a prophecy
tal rey de
that such a king was going to, and then it is
por ahí desarrollar un poco.
maybe to develop a little bit the faith, but not even that.
No lo vieron nuestros
Because if my eyes didn't see it, it is just a Chinese tale either way. So then,
las profecías.
the prophecies,
Está escrito,
this book is written in code.
cubierto.
It is concealed. The Bible is. That is why there's so many religions, so many ways of thinking. That's why those that discover the Bible, they have the maximum, that it is for them. The rest, it's parables, and the Bible's a great parable. It can be the Trinity, the Father and the Son, all that. Very well, the hell,
Eterno o muerte
or
eterna. Vamos a
eternal death.
libro de Sofonías.
Let's go to Zephaniah.
Sofonías
Zephaniah
es un profeta.
is a prophet.
¿Quién sabe si existió?
Who knows if he existed or not? I could care less.
Por ahí existió.
Maybe he did exist.
Pongo mi fe si
I'm not going to place my whole faith if he existed or not. I don't care if he existed. Yahweh made a book to be written that's called Zephaniah with a very special name.
¿Saben qué significa?
You know what Zephaniah means? Well, today you'll learn what Zephaniah means, and I hope that you remember this and record this for the rest of the time that we're here.
Sofonías
Zephaniah
significa,
means
y se dice en hebreo,
in-
Sofonaya, o
in Hebrew it's called Zephaniah
Zephaniah,
or Zephaniahu,
depende cómo lo
depending on how you want to pronounce it.
significa,
But it means Yah,
es Sofonia.
Sophon-Yah.
Ya saben,
You know something of what Yah means.
nombre de Yahai,
The name of Yah is there's that
Sofonia.
is Sophon-Yah.
Entonces ya tienen el
So
Yah.
then you have the Yah already,
¿Qué es la otra parte de Sophon?
which is the other part of Sophon,
Cubierta, encubierta,
concealed, covered, secret.
Entonces la palabra
So then the
Sofonías
word
es encubierta.
Zephaniah is concealed by Yahweh. in the secret or in the secret of Yahweh.
Les digo que
I tell you that it is written in the Strong's Dictionary, H6846 says, Yah has concealed.
eso es lo que significa.
That is what it means. But more than Yah hath concealed, but he decoded everything. So then we already started with the name of Zephaniah, and hold on, I'm going to read Zephaniah. It's already concealed from the get-go. You're going to read a book that is concealed by Yah himself, because he made it. Some guy write it, whether he's fictitious or real. Or if he was real, he told him his name would be Zephaniah, and he told him that it would be concealed. It is the name of the bug, Zephaniah. Zephaniah. So then many people say, this means that. Oh, no, it's concealed. Hold on, it's concealed. It's concealed. Write down all of you that want to make videos and send them elsewhere. Maybe something will call your attention or not. Maybe not. But well. So then, what does it say? Yahweh hath concealed, or Zephaniah. What does it speak of? Exclusively of the day of the Lord. Wow. Was this fulfilled in the past? No. Could it have certain things that are similar in Israel, but it's not a book about that. They had to read it. They knew that the punishment would come, but it's not what the book says. It is good for them because Yahweh makes anything with a double and triple and even quadruple functions and fulfillments. Taking that out, this book is for the end of time, Zephaniah. We've read it many times. But when a certain information comes, certain details, they start to shine, because that is the Bible. It is a book that it is limited, it shines, but Yahweh did it in a way that it's encrypted. So then every now and then, it's kind of like we discover someone's seal and it didn't shine so much, and now we see things differently. And that is what the Bible has. That's marvelous. It's a living book, absolutely alive, and to interpret. Either correct or incorrect, but it is to interpret. Revelation 17, the seven heads, as it was explained but by Saul, the part that he explained was very well explained. Of course that it blows everyone's mind. Anyone, just mediumly so, that has any interest and free from any religion, dogmatic religion, that he takes it as a dogma, like the Adventists, that could be any other religions that believe in their prophets. If he has his mind a little more freer, then they present a prophecy to them, and they explain it to them in a form that is so absolutely brilliant in the interpretation thereof. All you have to do is to be in ecstasy. When they say it's seven heads, and the seven heads have existed. And they identified the city of the seven hills, which actually, when you understand that it is all that rule the world, the powerful, they all belong to that. And you notice that they rule the banks, the economy, the education, the pharmacology, the governments, the businesses, the debts from every country are theirs. When you understand that they handle everything, and you read in the Bible the prostitute that is sitting, and they explain every head, of course it is to blow someone's mind and say, wow, this is marvelous. Of course so, of course so. It is a treasure that is so magnificent that I observe it every day and I say, wow, what a beauty. What a beauty this has, this treasure. Of course, the people will be in awe. Is that all there is? No. That is a part of everything, the whole development and the history of this. Of course, Yahweh gave us things that are absolutely magnificent, but of course. So then, Zephaniah, what does it mean? I said, Yahweh hath concealed or encrypted by Yahweh. Perfect, absolutely spectacular, very well. The age 78 of Zephaniah comes with the word 6845. 6845 is combined with the word Yah. And what is 6845? Safan. Zafan is the word. Safan Yah.
Sofonía traducido acá. Pero
So
Safan,
Zephaniah, they say, but it's Safan Yah. What is the word Safan? Let me read it to you. It is H6845. Just the first part of the word of Safon.
dice, por raíz primaria es
Primary root, to conceal, but by covering something, by implication, to reserve something. It is reserved. Figuratively so. To deny, I'll deny it because I won't give it to you. It is concealed, it is reserved for something. I want to understand this. No, you cannot understand it. That is to deny. It is reserved for him, for someone that will understand it later. Then it says, especially, favorably protecting, it's protected. Then also, it says to cover, concealed, to hide, concealed, a concealed message of Yahweh, protected, to refrain, secret. What's concealed of Yahweh, that of Yahweh, it's all there. So when we Zephaniah, it is encrypted from beginning to end, encrypted. Very well, very well. We are sick and tired of reading Proverbs 25:2. No, we're not tired. But it says, it is the glory of Elohim to conceal. It is the word bound. It's also to conceal entirely. It is the glory of Elohim to conceal the word, yet it is the glory of the king to search out the word. So then if this book is hidden, Zephaniah is hidden. Actually, the only one that can understand it are the kings, because they're the ones that can open the cover of Yahweh. It's basic, right? You understand this? It's very basic what I'm saying. Zephaniah is concealed by Yahweh. Who can read it? By Yahweh. Only the kings. It is the secret. Is it? Are we going to understand this in some church? Are we religious? Of course. What is your religion, LVE? What is that? It's a unique religion, LVE. Are you Christians? No, we're not Christians. Are you Jewish? What I could say, it's a branch of Judaism. But if I say I'm Jewish, they're going to think that we belong to those Jews. LVE is a Jewish branch, 100%, 100%, 100% Jewish. Because the Messiah is Jewish, obviously. If the Messiah is Jewish, if the Messiah is the son of David, of course we're Jewish. In a way that is absolutely brutal and clear. Very well. Let us start a little bit with this one. Give you this prophecy. I had in mind to give it to you that I gave you at some point. But just to remind you, I don't know, maybe I'll give it to you now or some other Shabbat. The next Shabbat will be short. It is just a preamble. I hope that you have a Boca jersey and that you wear it, because we're going to watch speaking the mouth of Yahweh speaking. If all this. Exactly. The planet that is not spinning, the flat earth, that is what it represents. Just like the ring. The ring. What are you? I'm from LVE. He could have covered his ring. I don't know if I even saw his ring there. He says, LVE, LVE. I have a little study group. We study there and we come to conclusions, but no, I don't belong to any religion. I'm not religious. But you're atheist, he said. Are you atheist? No, not an atheist. Like atheist, not really. I don't have any religion. How is it that you don't have a religion? I mean, wow. How is it that you don't have a religion? I'll shut everything down. That guy's paying too much attention. We're running out of oil here. Seven arms. It's like the Copa Libertadores. We need the seventh one. We need the seventh one. How are we not religious? We're ultra religious. We have celebrated Yom Kippur by not eating. Is that non-religious? An atheist? I'm religious. Look at this. Look at this. This is religion. This is called religion. It's all religion here. Very well. This is my religion. You are embarrassed. More likes, even more. Wow.
No se pueden comprar, te dije.
You can't buy them less. I told you. No, less. The only one that could buy them, that I don't even know how. No. Don't say that. It isn't so. They cannot be bought, of course.
No, no hay truquito.
There's no little trick. What do you say, Angelina? There's no trick.
Pero lo tiene que comprar el dueño.
But the owner has to buy it, right? What?
Es el pueblo bostero, Ceneice.
It is the Bosteros Ceneice people that came here, the fence.
Pero ahora me puse el azul y oro.
But I'm wearing the gold and the blue.
Okay.
Okay,
Esta camisa me encanta, les digo.
I love this jersey.
Ah, por todos lados, claro. Ah, sí.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Estoy en contra de que...
Am I
Estoy
against?
en contra de que haya...
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed with that. I'm against. I don't buy anything.
Jamás.
Ever. I would never do that.
Sí,
Right.
otra vez, Pepito.
Once again, it's Pepito.
Yo jamás
I
haría
would
eso
never
de
do that.
cerrar mi
I'd rather shut the ministry down than to buy likes.
Wow, yo
Wow.
no puedo entender ni cómo lo pueden hacer.
Could not even understand how they can do it.
Ok.
Okay, whatever.
Tenemos 2,000 likes. Récord
We have 2,000 likes.
Récord,
History record. Historical record.
Miren, 1947.
Look,
1947, esto me recuerda
1947, like in the UN for Israel to have their own land when the command came out in 1947.
Sí, vayan a.
Yeah, go.
Vamos a comer gallina.
We're gonna eat chickens today because I want to kill a chicken.
Ya la matamos.
We did kill her already. We killed the chicken already. Fried chicken.
Claro, mira
course.
qué protagonismo te dimos.
What protagonism we gave you. Now do feel proud.
Hablamos de vos,
We
mirá,
talked about you.
contra
Extremely a protagonist. Saul, you wanted to be a protagonist? We give it to you. Very well.
Ahora bajó un like. Bueno,
No, I like 110. Oh, 1946. This is too crazy.
ok, estamos acá.
Okay, we're here. Very well.
Entonces,
So then,
y ya estamos por terminar.
and we're about to end. Okay, that's the way it is. Zephaniah means then something concealed, something encrypted.
Ahora quiero que entiendan
Now I want you to understand something.
de
Within
lo encriptado y cubierto de Yahweh.
within what's encrypted in that of Yahweh, so that the
Sean fáciles de
things are never easy to understand. Try to understand my words.
hablar lo más
I try to be as clear as possible.
de la forma
Part
y lenguaje
of the form and language that Yahweh encrypts the prophecies in the Bible in,
ciertos símbolos tienen
certain symbols
significados
have
antagónicos.
meanings,
¿Saben lo que es antagónico?
antagonistic meanings. Do you know what that means? Opposite.
Por ejemplo,
Opposite meanings.
Israel. Israel puede
For example,
significar
Israel.
el Mashiach.
It could mean the Mashiach,
El Israel,
the
por
people,
supuesto.
the people of Elohim. But of
Mucha
course,
gente habla de su Israel, que viene a su Israel, por
it talks about it's Israel. But of course, I mean, it's not in debate here. But in the very same prophecy or in other prophecies, the word Israel could directly represent the whore, even in the very same chapter, if we do not understand the form of coding, of Yahweh coding things, we do not understand the prophecies. So then, we're left blinded, and the cover is there. Every time I see Israel as a people of God, that's what happens to the Jews. When they see Israel, it says they will be blessed, they will receive the land, and they're wrong, because they have the covering. Not just because it says Israel does it mean their Israel or that of God. No. It could say Israel and could be talking about Babylon. So then that is the point here. No one is arguing in the interpretations, and there can be only one correct interpretation. The rest can't, because it's concealed. Zephaniah says this is concealed by Yahweh. So then, Jerusalem. Every time I read Jerusalem, it means the city of God, the city which will be the eternal and capital city of the entire world. No. It could mean that I saw the Jerusalem come down from heaven and blah, 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 blah. And I saw the New Jerusalem and they say the new one so as to. It could mean the capital city of the New World Order. Yes, yes. Maybe we can change the name. But the way I saw it, it doesn't have a new name. So then I read Jerusalem. I have to make sure what he's talking about. The Jerusalem, capital of the world, whatever its name is, doesn't matter. In this biblical message, I read Jerusalem, or it means the city of perdition, the prostitute. It says USA, Russia, England, and Germany. What is it that it's saying? I have to know. If I don't know, it is covered. Every time I read Jerusalem, I have to read Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the beloved city, protected, and maybe it might disappear. And because I did not understand, I missed out on the true meaning. So then, there are different words that have opposite meanings in the same prophecy. That's fundamental to understand the prophecy and to open the code. I want to explain that because in this prophecy and in other prophecies that we'll study within Gaza, it talks all of a sudden to Israel, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. But it would seem all the same, and it's not the same because it was encrypted somehow. If it weren't so, it could not be encrypted. Everyone could say, this is Jerusalem, and it'll be like that, the way they read it. But it doesn't work that way. It is concealed. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Very well. Very well. So then, the secret, aside from Yahweh giving you the light to understand, the secret is basically that all the prophecies are in harmony. Revelation 17 has to harmonize all the rest of the prophecies and has to harmonize with Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 1 says, word of Yahweh that came into Zephaniah, Yahweh concealed, Yahweh encrypted, Yahweh concealed, son of Cusi, son of Gedalias, son of Amalias, son of Hezekiah, in days of Josiah, son of Amen, king of Judah. I will utterly, this is Yahweh speaking in a concealed language. So then what he's going to speak is an enigma that he have to solve. I will utterly consume all things from off the land. That's how Yahweh says. He says, hold on, why don't you just greet us at least? Yahweh says, the first thing I'm going to say, I will utterly consume. I'm not going to leave anything. I will utterly consume. How many things, Lord? All things. This is silence. Shut up. All the things of the face of the earth, saith Yahweh. That is how we start the prophecy off. Is this literal? No, it's symbolism. All the things, evidently, I did not speak of all things. He's going to destroy everything. Nothing's left. It'll be just him and his creation, a piece of land that's demolished. So then it's encrypted. What is it trying to say? It's talking about what's coming as the end of the world, the day of wrath. All the things that must be destroyed will be destroyed, all of them. The people will continue to live. 1/3 will be left on earth of what we calculate in the prophecy. Let's suppose that is give or take, more or less. And it's not all going to be destroyed, of course. But what has to be destroyed, the whole system that has to be destroyed, will be destroyed. And I agree with that, obviously. But I like the way it starts off right away, without a preamble, without soft words, just right to the point. I'll destroy, he says. And in case this is not clear to you, I will destroy men and beast. No, not the beast. And I will consume the fowls of heaven. And aren't they the beast? No, the beasts are bigger. The fowls of heaven and the fishes of the sea. And the stumbling blocks. of the wicked. Why did you say that? You said men. They're all wicked. When you say consume men, you don't have any wicked to destroy. It's a symbolic message. And I will cut off man from, what does it mean to cut off? If you speak English or another language, maybe, I don't know, a different language, I will completely annihilate is to cut off, to disappear forever. I will cut off man from off the land, Yahweh saith. It says no one's left. That's the way he started off. In case it wasn't clear, the previous one, it is concealed by Yahweh. He says, I will cut off, annihilate entirely, cut off men from off the land, saith Yahweh. What? What does this mean? Is this literal? No, this cannot be literal, because if it's literal, we'll all be cut off. Let's just eat and drink, and let's watch Boca if we're going to be cut off tomorrow. No, it's not literal. We're not literal. It's not literal. When it says that all the nations come and praise him, and there's a whole lot of people, tremendous is the earth, and there's civilizations that we have to rebuild. 6,000 years that go to hell just to annihilate everything. No, we have all the technology. I cannot conceive a world without technology. Once they gave me a phone, I don't want to live without a phone. Once they gave me a computer, no one will take my computer away. My personal computer will stay with me. And obviously, the personal computers are a different way of speaking in Spain, the way they say the ordenadores in Spain. Like things that order. Is that the most magnificent thing? Yes, the computers. The maximum, that is where we touched on heaven, the heaven of God. We touched on the most spectacular creation. He says, what stupid shit is he saying? Of course I'm going to be embarrassed. If you look at what he's saying, more than some human idiot, it is the human computer. Yes, and everything comes with a computer online. Or else you could not be listening to me, you son of a bitch. Or else it would never have come from your stupidity and lies, you son of a bitch. You would have never listened to Christian Selva if it weren't for a computer. So then thank God always that there are computers. You think that we could live without computers? No. No. You think that we could live without internet? No. I don't want to live in no time in this black world without communication. Those that say, I live in the field happy, then go live in the field happy. I mean, you wretched fool. Go and live there. I don't want to live in the field. I don't want a robot, which I could make with computing and send them to harvest the land for me. I'm tired of getting all the weeds out. No. I want it for someone to do it for me, not a human being. I want something like a computer, a mobile computer, to have some wheels. What do? He might say, tell him, look, I'll give you electricity. I'll give you a very intelligent AI, and he'll do it joyfully because the program is there. And what else do I do? What else do I do? Now you can charge yourself a little bit. That is what I want. Never could I say, I have to go back to Eden. Who the fuck wants to go back to the fucking Eden? If you want to go back to Eden, then you're in the wrong team. I don't want to go back to Eden. Absolutely not. I want to be on this earth and to continue to advance and convert it completely, taking out all the curses that it has, of course, because the Creator cursed us. He cursed us to take those curses out and to do what we want with this earth of ours, what we want. Imagine people living in Eden, because that's the way they would live. They were naked and without shoes. I mean, worse than the people before time. A level that is higher than is the like God level. Imagine me speaking here in California, Riverside, California, And they're listening to me in Japan right now. I mean, that is, ask anyone, and they would say that's a lie. That does not exist. Not even God can do that. Not just Japan. They're listening to me in Argentina, in Spain, in the Netherlands, Holland, in all of America. In all of America. I mean, don't even mention all the countries. America entirely, in Europe, in Asia. What this guy's saying with the Boca Juniors jersey, they're listening to me, not just listening to me, they're watching me. Not just watching me, you can even chat with me here. I mean, this is something that you were born, or not even born with this. Maybe when I was born, none of this was there. When I was born, nothing was this. When Brian was born, this existed. But when I was born, we didn't have cell phones. That did not exist. We had a phone. You had to wait for years for them to give you the line phone. And the neighbor would come and say that somebody's calling you. Somebody's calling you. You'd have to go with your neighbor. And you'd have your... And you'd have to go to the neighbor's house. You have to communicate outside of the country. You'd have to go somewhere else with cables. And says you want to call the U.S., just wait a minute. That is where I was born. And it was pretty advanced compared to John's time. What we're living in now is the greatest thing there is, to give the message live and direct to the whole world. And to teach what you should not do, like today that I taught you. What else do you want? It's the maximum. I don't want to go back these minutes. If Yahweh says, I'm going to destroy everything, how do we make all this again? I'll be the first to rebel against him. What, you're going to send us back to the time, the Stone Age? How are we going to do electricity if we don't know how to make it? No one in the eternal truth knows how to make it. But if we get a generator, maybe. But if we don't have anything, if nothing, how are we going to make electricity? Even if we have a river, if it's all broken, how are we going to make electricity? We don't even know how to make it. I have an idea because I learned quickly, but we need people to know how to do it. But we need tools, we need this and that. What are we going to do? How difficult it is to do something that is a coil, a copper coil. If you destroy this, you destroy your whole creation. No, you're going to destroy everything. We'll destroy many things, but the system will be left completely. That is my position. If Yahweh destroys everything, then I'll get off the horse. Like in the Stone Age, I will not live there. Nor do I want it. It'd be boring. They take my electricity, I don't know what to do. Says, that's the way it is? Yes, that's the way it is. Well, once you know what is good, you don't want to do anything else. Says you don't have electricity? How boring is the world? Says, you can do something and I don't want to do something else. I don't want to. I don't want to do something else. I want to do what an advanced human being can do and learn. I've never learned so many things in life like with YouTube. Never. From building an entire house, I built a whole entire motor, not by YouTube, but it's by reading manuals. Because I like everything. I'm a mechanic. I can make an entire motor, the metals, everything, absolutely everything. But the things that I don't know how to do, I don't go to college. I go to YouTube and ask YouTube, how can we change this? And it says, you're going to see a whole bunch of teachers that says do this and this and that. That's marvelous. It is absolutely incredible. Incredible. That is thanks to technology. So then, is Yahweh going to destroy everything? No, of course not. Absolutely not. He will make a change of a system. That is the destruction of Babylon. Well, so then I'll turn the text over. It says, I will destroy man and beast. And why the beasts? I'm going to explain. I will destroy the fowls of heaven and the fish of the sea, and I'll cut off the wicked and the men from off the face of the earth. Yahweh saith. Fine. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means right now. Right from the get-go. It's not talking about men and beasts, fishes and birds. Those are categories. Just like the book of Enoch has. He says, and I've seen men, but I'll divide them into their personality. It could be vultures that steal from you. They take their prey. Interesting. We've seen things like that.
Peces del mar
Fishes of the sea,
tienen una
they have a
personalidad.
personality.
Las
The
bestias,
beasts,
sabemos
we know
quiénes
who
son
the
las
beasts
bestias.
are.
Eso es lo que va
That
a
is what
traer.
he
No
will
está
cut
hablando
off.
de
It's
las
not talking about the
bestias que
beasts
tú
that you
conoces.
know.
Está hablando simbólicamente
It's talking
de
about
diferentes
symbolically
clases de
about different
personas.
types of people. Let me see how I make you understand this. That's what it's talking
No
about.
tiene ningún sentido matar todos
It
los
just
pobres
makes no sense to
animalitos.
kill all the poor little animals.
Tras que
On
ellos
top of the fact
recibieron una maldición,
that they
terminan
received
muertos
a
todos.
curse, they all end up dead?
Lo que hay que
No. Well, we have to
transformarlos a ellos.
transform them.
Hay que, en todo
In
caso,
either case, we have to
cambiarles la
change their
naturaleza,
nature,
por
of
supuesto.
course.
Cambiarles la
Change their
naturaleza,
nature
para que no se
so
maten
they don't
unos
kill
a
each
otros,
other,
para que hacer todo un sistema
to make
que
a
eso
whole
con el
system,
poder
and
de
with the
Yahweh,
power of
las
Yahweh, with the
ideas de
ideas of
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
va a
and
ser así,
everything,
va a ser
it'll
así.
be so.
Pero no van
But
a
they will
morir
not die,
todos
all the
los
animals of the
animales.
world. No. So then,
¿Qué es lo que se refiere?
it's referring
Se refiere
to
a los hombres
it's
bestias,
referring
a
to the
los
men that are
hombres
beasts,
aves,
the men that
a
are
los
birds,
hombres peces,
the men that are
a los
fishes,
impíos,
the
hombres impíos.
wicked
Eso es lo
man.
que va a
That is what
traer.
he will cut
¿Y
off.
qué
What does
traer?
it mean to cut off? To
Dormir
be put to
por mí.
sleep for 1,000 years. So then,
Cuando empezamos a
when we
ver
start to
estas
see these
profecías,
prophecies,
no dicen lo que
it
dicen
doesn't. They don't say what they say,
y armonizan con
and they
todo.
harmonize with all the rest. Very well.
Espero
I
que
hope
se vaya
It
entendiendo
is
el
understood,
concepto
this
de lo que
concept
se
of what
interpreta.
it is to interpret.
4.
4.
Extenderé mi mano
I
sobre
will
Judá.
also stretch out mine hand upon Judah.
¿De qué
What
Judá
Judah
está
is he
hablando?
talking about?
Pues
It
la
could be
Judá
the
buena,
good
la
Judah
Judá
or the
mala.
bad one.
Leo el texto.
I'll just read the text first. And I will stretch out mine hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem. What Jerusalem is he talking about? And I will cut off the remnant of Baal from this place. False gods. And the name of the Chemarims with the priests. Wow. The name of the Chemarims with the priests. And them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops. Wow. Who worships the host of heaven? I'll tell you, all the heliocentrics. They said, no, that is, it is so. It is so. Why? Because no one worships the sun and the stars, and they worship them. No. The worship, it gets to a point of saying that they're a lot more marvelous than they are, that we are insignificant, and actually the all-powerful and enormous is outside. The heaven, the sun is a lot greater than the earth. That is to worship it. That's what it is, to worship it. They don't know. They don't know. They're ignorant. To say that the sun is greater than the earth is to say that it's a lot more important the sun is. To say that the earth goes around the sun, it is worship. Heliocentrism, it is the worship of the sun. The word says it. It's all centered in the sun, and we, as a little planet, we turn like this. So then does flat earth matter? Absolutely. Absolutely. We say that the sun, the moon, and the stars are dog shit. Christian Silva says that, but they get embarrassed with that. I'll translate it to you. You have good ears. The sun, the moon, and the stars are insignificant. They're tiny. They're placed there to shine like little lights upon the earth, magnificent. An important earth, because the only thing important here is the earth that Yahweh gave us and his sons that Yahweh placed here, us. The rest is not important at all. It can be taken out, it can fuck off to death. The moon also, and they're all painted. The stars are. If I say, we're insignificant, we're a globe and we spin around the sun and we travel in an immense universe, it's huge, and the galaxies, and we're a galaxy like this, and there's millions more galaxies, we're nothing. That is what it means, that the universe is everything. I am a worshiper of heaven. There isn't anyone that can belong even to the final elite of the Mashiach that is heliocentric. No one, just like that. But it says it right here because it's concealed. It's saying, I'll discover the word for you. It says, and those that are upon the housetops, they worship all the hosts of heaven. He will exterminate them, I tell you. If I take the scripture from the cover, if I take the cover off, it says in the heliocentrics.
los erradicaré.
I'll
No hay otra. No hay
cut
otra.
off. There's nothing
Adoran
else.
algo
Because
que
they
no
worship
existe.
something that does not exist.
Y a los que sobre los terrados
And
se
those
postran
that
al ejército
upon the
del
housetops,
cielo. Pero
they
el ejército
worship the
del
host
cielo
of
no
heaven.
solamente es
It's not just that.
el ejército del cielo
It could
podemos
also
decir
be
que es
that
Satanás.
it's Satan
Y
and angels.
aquellos que le tienen
Those
miedo
that are afraid
y los evitan,
and they avoid him.
en realidad tienen admiración.
Actually, they have admiration.
También siguen adorando.
They're still worshiping them.
¿Por qué? Porque
Why?
piensan
Because
que
they
ellos
think
son
that they are
culpables de que ellos pequen,
the
de que ellos tengan
ones to
deseos,
blame,
de
that
que
they
ellos
have
tengan
desires, that they
problemas
sin,
y
that they have
pecados.
problems and
Entonces
sins.
es el
So then
ejército
it
del
is
cielo. Y piden
the host of
por
heaven, and they ask, like Paul says, for a special protection
contra las
against
potestades
the powers that be. What?
son también
They are also
adoradores
worshippers
del
of
del cielo.
the host of heaven.
Y a los que se postran jurando por Yahweh y jurando por Milcom.
And they that
Ahí
worship for
realmente
Yahweh
está
and by
hablando
Milcom.
del grupo de
It's talking
personas
about
que
a people that
aceptan a
accept
Yahweh de
Yahweh
una
in
forma
one way or
que
another.
se juran por
They swear by Yahweh.
No está hablando de
It's not
jurar,
talking about, I swear. No, it's also saying
tienen claro que
that they
por
understand
Yahweh,
Yahweh's there.
pero no solamente
And not just Yahweh,
por
but by
Milcom,
Milcom,
por otros.
by
¿Y quién
others.
es
Who's Milcom?
Milcom?
Milcom
Era un
is
dios que
some
algunos
god that
dicen
some
que
say
era-
that was,
llevaba otro nombre
he
también, como
had
ese
another
que
name,
fuego, no me acuerdo
the
cómo
guy
se
from
llamaba,
Fire, I
ese
can't
que
remember.
quemaban los niños.
They would burn the,
Da lo mismo. Sí, de Dagon y todo eso. Exactamente.
like all that.
Algunos
Some
dicen que
say
era,
that it was,
un nombre más de esos dioses. Pero, sí, Dagon era uno.
Dagon
y
was,
había
there was
otro.
another one.
Pero el tema
But the
no es que
thing
era
is not who
Milcom
was
o no
Milcom
Milcom.
or not.
El tema es
The thing is,
qué representa
what does
Milcom.
Milcom represent?
¿Qué
I'll tell you
Milcom?
what he represents. Represents
A las personas más
the most important
importantes
people,
y respetuosas
more respectful
en la vida de las
in the life
personas
of people
estas que
that
aceptan a
accept
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
¿Y quiénes
And
son?
who are they?
Está claro.
It is here, Milcom, in this
caso,
case,
bajo la interpretación
under the
que estoy
interpretation that I'm giving,
dando,
represents
a la
the
farmaquea.
pharmakeia.
Porque no importa cuánto
Because it doesn't
adoren
matter how much
a
they worship
Jesús,
Jesus,
su
their
Dios,
God,
y su
and the
Trinidad,
Trinity,
van al
they go to
doctor
the doctor
o de bata blanca.
of the white robe, even better said,
Van
they
al-
go,
mejor dicho,
better
vamos a
said,
decir,
let's say,
van
they go to
al sacerdote
the
de
priests
blanco
in white
para que le recete
so
algo
that they
para
give them a
mejorar.
recipe to get
Entonces,
better. So
van
then they go
a la iglesia,
to church,
adorando a
speaking
cualquier
to
Jehová
whatever
que
Yahweh that they
conozcan,
know,
pero también
but also
dependen
they
de
depend
ellos y
of
le
them
hacen caso
and
en
they
todo a
listen to
ellos.
them in
Es
everything.
más importante lo que
It's more
digan
important what they
estos
say, these
sacerdotes de
priests
bata
in
blanca
white,
que
than
te
anything
conozcan.
else.
Por eso
That is why the
Adventista
Adventist Church
dijo,
said
sacó en ese comunicado,
they
Jesús es ejemplo
had
chiquito.
they issued out that
Dijo, Jesús es
message.
vida,
It said Jesus is life, and
este,
this
esta
this
flecha
arrow
con
with
líquido
liquid
es
is
vida.
life.
Ahí tiene,
There you have it.
Jehová,
Jehovah and Milcom.
Milcom, hay que
Milcom, you have to
interpretar
interpret who Milcom is.
Milcom es
Milcom
lo que
is
dice la
what the
Biblia,
Bible
y todos
says,
fueron
and they
engañados
were
por la
all
farmaquea.
deceived by
No hay
pharmakeia.
otra
There's no turn of the
interpretación, no hay
page.
otra interpretación
There's no
posible.
other possible
Es lo que
interpretation.
más
It is
respetan
what
ellos.
they respect the most.
Viven
They live
gracias
thanks
y por
and by
la
pharmakeia.
Tienen su seguro
They have their
médico,
own
dependen de
medical
ellos. Cuando tienen una enfermedad,
insurance. When they have
van a
anything,
buscar el consejo de ellos
a
y el
sickness, they go to look for their
tratamiento de
advice and their
ellos,
treatment
y todo
and
lo que tenga
anything
que
that
ver.
has to
Entonces,
do
por
with
eso el
that. That's what the
dice,
text says.
por eso dice,
That's what it says.
leo de vuelta
I'll
el
read the
texto.
text again.
Extenderé mi mano sobre Judá.
I shall stretch out mine hand upon Judah. Who's Judah? And upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And I will cut off the remnant of Baal. Okay, I'll tell you who that Judah and Jerusalem. Judah and Jerusalem is not
La Jerusalén de allá.
Jerusalem over there. It's talking about all those who follow Jehovah. It's telling you
Entran cristianos,
here
entran judíos,
is Christians and Jewish and all the independent ones, the Messianics and all the
que
rest
tienen a Jehová.
that
Los cristianos
have
tienen a
Jehovah.
Jehová, sí, entra. Los judíos tienen a Jehová, sí,
The
entra.
Christians and the Jewish, they understand Jehovah, yes, and the Messianic, yes.
En ese grupo.
And they enter into this group, so then he extends his hand over that group of all those people, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and will cut off of the remnant of Baal from this place.
Justamente tienen
Precisely, they have false gods.
y el nombre de los
And the name of the ministries and the priests, their priests are absolutely idolaters, the pastors, the ministers, and all the rest.
Por eso está hablando
That's why he's talking about those groups.
incluye.
And they include Judaism
Punto. No hay otra vuelta.
and Christianism.
Incluye los musulmanes.
Does not include the Muslims.
Dice que juran por
It
Jehová.
says that they swear by Yahweh. So then, if they swear by Yahweh, it's like, no.
Aquel que cree
Those that believe in Jehovah,
cristiano
Jewish or Christian or Messianic, they enter into this group. So then we start off with the symbols. This goes with all of Christianity and Judaism. And I shall cut off from this place. It says, I will cut off from all this group these here. He tells you who's he's going to exterminate. That's the secret of who will perish and who won't. And the remnant of Baal, the false gods, in the name of the ministries, the idolater ministries and priests. That's why when you speak, wow, you have to be responsible. And them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops. It could be directly heliocentrists. It could be the most, most of them. There's no turn of the page. And them that worship and that swear by Yahweh and by Milcom, they worship before Yahweh. They say, please give me that. They bow down. I want that. They bend over and they say they pay for it. It is the most lucrative business. Their medical insurances, their treatments, their pharmakeia, they pay for it. That's why it says they bend over before Yahweh. That's fine, and before Milcom. And them that are turned back from Yahweh, and those that have not sought Yahweh nor inquired for him. Oh, so then what happened? Yahweh encloses in this text all of humanity. It says, I'm going to start back with those that believe in Yahweh, this, and that. And the rest, are they saved? No. Those that didn't even listen about Yahweh, they could care less. Either way. That's the way it is. It's as simple as that. Or else it would be very unfair. If No. Are they saved? No. They're not saved. But those that turned back, they knew him. And those that did not even look for Yahweh, they didn't even know him. So those enter into this group. So then who enters into this group? Everyone. When I read this text, I say everyone. So then I'm going to start to read once again from the beginning. It says, word of Yahweh which came unto Zephaniah, hidden by Yahweh, the son of Cushi, the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, in the days of Josiah, the son of Amon, king of Judah. I will utterly consume all things from the land, saith Yahweh, all the things that are no good, that belong to Babylon, all the lies, I will destroy that completely, everything. And I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith Yahweh. So then what type of men are you going to cut off for now? You said the different types, the beasts, which includes Babylon, the second beast of the earth, all the rest of the beasts. What else? Give me a specification. It's okay, I'll speak clear. I'll expand my hand. It's not everyone really over Judah and upon those who dwell in Jerusalem, and I'll cut off the remnant of Baal. The first thing, I'll eliminate the remnant of Baal. What is that? False gods. Baal is also a name of Yahweh. But the remnant of Baal is, it says, the fake adoration, the false adoration. And I'll tell them who the only Elohim there is, one alone. I'll do away with the Trinity and a whole bunch of things that people don't understand. I'll cleanse them so that they understand whom they should worship. But I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to eliminate all the ministries that confused, that deceived all this. And in the name of the ministries, there's a title, nothing is left. Rabbi, pastor, in charge, God sent an apostle. Fuck it all to hell. Their titles, their name, their fame, their name of renown. I'm a fan of Boca. This is worth more. This word is worth more. I am this rabbi who gives a fuck who the fucker. I studied in the feet of Gamaliel. I don't give a fuck where you studied. Yahweh says, and I shall eliminate the name of the ministries. It is the name, the fame, the titles, the idolater ministries and their priests, and them that worship the hosts of heaven upon the housetops. All the heliocentrists, idiots that don't understand a thing. And them that worship by Yahweh and swear by Malcolm, those that get the mark, the pharmakeia, that they love so much, and them that are turned back, and those that don't give a fuck about anything, and those that did not seek Yahweh. Okay, we're doing okay right there. Perfect. I'm about to wrap this up. That'd be the only problem. That would be the only problem. I'm about to wrap this up. I am already sweating. I'm about to wrap this up. It says, hold thy peace. Shut up. He says, silence. Hold thy peace. The pronunciation has to be Argentinian. Kasha. You don't say kaya. If they speak that way, they kind of sound kind of faggotish, kind of like query from the other team. I don't care less, but it just has no strength in it. When they say Kalia, the way they pronounce elsewhere, Kasha. Kasha is like shut up, shut it. I'll tell you in every language. Kalia, Kasha, shut up. Silence. In the presence of Yahweh the Lord. For the day of Yahweh is near. For Yahweh hath prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guests. Wow. Whoa. There are sacrifices. All this is symbolic. His guests are his sons, of course. These are my sons. I'm gonna treat them and prepare to sacrifice. What did I mean? All the man, the beast, everything he mentioned before in symbols. You see that it's all a movie in symbols, but it is true that it'll end up. He will do away with the men that do not understand that they're what are part of Babylon, of course. It's not a sacrifice. Actually, it's an instruction for them. Because there's no other way of them understanding. There isn't. You have to go through surgery. And in the surgery, they have to be put to sleep. Period. No turn of the page. There's no turn of the page. They could not go through surgery live. They have to be unconscious. There's no other way than to take it to the subconscious level. So then, death is not so terrible like they taught us that it is. That is what it is to take him to a surgery. He says, but that right there sounds horrible. No, well, it could be not horrible because sometimes we don't understand them, but there's no other form. Okay, so then he says it in a different way, very brutal. Hold thy peace at the presence of Yahweh the Lord. For the day of Jehovah or of Yahweh is at hand. For Yahweh hath prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guests. He hath bid his guests. His guests are his sons, the Mashiach. The one that will enjoy the feast, per se. It may sound like a horror story with lots of gore in Spanish, something horrible. Who can enjoy a feast of gore, a massacre, a slaughter with everyone's blood? That's what Yah was saying. But it is symbolism. It's symbolism. So that no one understand, except the one that have to understand. The guests, 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh's sacrifice, and it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh's sacrifice that I will punish the princes. Who are the princes? But of course, there's no need for me to interpret it for you. All the governors, presidents, kings, and all the rest, and anything that functions in the government and military, those are the princes. I'm looking for... I found it. And in the day of the sacrifice of Yahweh, which is the day of the Lord, I shall punish the princes who rule the people, and the king's children. Who are the king's children? There are very, very few kings. Only those No, the king's children are all the rich men that have lived as kings on this earth. They're not kings with a title, but they're kings. They've had businesses, important businesses. They've had fame. So that, those two. And all who dress strange apparel. What does that mean? What does that mean? It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do, first of all, strange apparel. It was considered one of the aspects. There's a lot more. Strange apparel was an apparel that was a lot more expensive. John the Baptist was not dressed with strange apparel, for example. He made it himself. It was just a loincloth with camel skin. Strange apparel was that of the rich, because they would be made in Africa or in Liberia and India, in Libya. Now, some of their places are more expensive, has more value than that of the Chinese. Before, something that was imported was something so expensive, you had to pay it with golden coins. So then precisely, he says to all those rich people that all they care about was money. That's first of all. We could interpret it in a different way. The strange apparel are those, like it's speaking to Judah, his people. And Judah's people, I involve everyone. Look, I involve everyone. Jewish, Christians, and Messianic. I involve the three groups and all the rest. But it says you, if you use a strange apparel, it's because you have not dressed with the apparel of justice. And what are those? The apparel of justice. It could be strange apparel. We could say it that way. For me, it's more important. The people that were rich, that couldn't care about anything, and all they cared about was the temporary well-being. That could be, for me, the most important characteristics. Strange apparel. But you could also apply it to those who did not dress with justice. They once dressed with a foreign apparel of worship to other doctrines and all the rest. However you want to interpret it, there's no problem with this. If there are things that we don't understand here, all the prophecies are clear. Who? Everything we've studied. Who are the sons of Elohim? Those who worship only one Elohim. One only Elohim involves only one being. That sole being is the one that came to earth. He didn't send his son. And that one is also the devil. It's Satan. He does not have an antagonist. Doesn't have an angel that turned on him. It doesn't have anything that. He's everything. He's Yahweh and Azazel. He's Yahweh and Satan. That is what it is to understand it clearly. So then all the rest of people, all the rest of all these prophecies, they start to fall in the clear way that Yahweh has formed us. It is impressive, easy to understand. And if you don't understand it, I'll explain it to you very well. 9. I should stop already. It's 2:30. I promised Leslie 2 hours and to cut you off. But they interrupted me with your fucking videos you make. You make me waste my time. Okay, 9. And I shall punish on that day, in the same day, all those that leap on the threshold. Who are those that leap on the threshold? Which fill the master's houses with violence and deceit. Those are the thieves. If you leap on the threshold, it's a breaking and entry. It's applied in so many things. Absolutely in so many things. But basically, Yahweh is against injustice, starting with theft. In the same day, I will punish on that day all who leap over the threshold. I was looking in the history of Argentina, they would leap the threshold like crazy, a theft after another, and everything begotten by whom? By the walkers of the Red Sea. They would seem to be like Superman hopping over the threshold. That's why everyone owes them their banks. A leaper is someone that gathers the loot, a looter. That's why it's those who leap over the threshold. Does it mean something else? Well, we could imply it in so many things because it's in code. Who is the door? And Yeshua said, I am the door. Those who leap over the door, it's the theft. It says, I am the door. You have to enter through me. So then, if we explain it that way, and we could apply it that way, he says, look, those that do not accept my first coming here and they don't understand it, well, they're not going through the door, they're jumping. They're leaping over, they come to steal. He says, since I'm the pastor, I open the door, and they have to enter through the door. And the door has a doorman. I mean, not even to mention that. Either way, to steal the message, to steal videos, to steal, and also, not to understand who Yahweh is that came here to earth. Those who fill the houses of their lords of theft and deceit. Okay, that is very clear. It's not just them stealing, but they have a group that steals for them. And who are they? Well, if I apply it like this, literally, you already know who it is. All the walkers of the Red Sea with money, they stole everything. I mean, don't even mention the names. Does this have another explanation? Yes, of course. All the churches. How do I apply it? Very simple. All the churches. Because what does it say? Churches are places where they steal. Of course, absolutely. Of course, it's a brutal business. Absolutely brutal. They become rich because of people's guilt. Because the greatest thing that they have is to make you feel guilty. Says you feel guilty, come here, I'll be your intercessor. Come and confess your sin and we'll pardon everything, and Christ is your salvation. And the people mobilize through their own guilt. The people die because of their guilt. And which is the greatest guilt of human? Sex. I'll tell it to you now, there's no greater one. Sex. And why sex? Why do people feel guilt because of sex? Because we were taught that way through generations, that sex is something dirty, that sex is something depraved. And if you have sexual needs, it's because your mind is degenerate. Because if it were pure, holy, and spiritual, you would think about the angels and God, and you would not think with your genetic parts, or that your sexual parts, your genitals, not genetics, your genitals. With your second head in men, two heads in men. So then they take the little one. It says, but that is something, yeah, because it's something that goes into you as a degenerate. They look for purity. And they look in the purity, thinking that they can obtain purity through sexual abstinence, and not just sexual abstinence, but also from thoughts, I'm going to say sexual thoughts. So the men that live thinking sexually the whole time, they feel guilty already, because they say, how will I cleanse my mind of all this sin? Because a woman passes by, I want to look at her. If she does not pass by, I imagine her anyway. There is such a need in me. I am embarrassed of that, because they taught me the religion and the genetic charts that I have, that I am something bad, something dirty. And I should think about elevated things, celestial things, in the angels, but I'm thinking in little female angels. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm doing bad. I need for God to cleanse me. Who can take this away? Women are the same. Women, absolutely the same. It doesn't change with anything. It's just that they could refrain it a little bit more. Yeah, they can. But of course, that comes with that, and it has so many problems. Absolutely. DHS is in all kinds. Sexuality brings the greatest problems that people suffer. Yes, that's the way it is. So then, I'm not talking about sex now. I'm talking about the guilt that men feel, which is not real, because it's a need that Yahweh placed here. And if it weren't for that, there would be no reproduction. We would not have gotten to this stage. It would have been 240,000 to populate at least a fourth of the earth. If that were not options, said, no, I don't even have the urge. No one would be reproduced. With how expensive it is to feed a child and the pain that it brings. And then also, you have to teach and they drive you crazy. Yeah, there are times when you enjoy them and all the rest. But the mother really loses herself with the children. I mean, don't even mention the economical. If it weren't because of the imperial need, sexual need that we have, there would be no reproduction. And you have placed it there, and this is, you don't fulfill it, you'll die. You're gonna have all kinds of sexual problems. You're gonna be a wretched fool. Oh, but they said it was a sin. They told you wrong. Only lies was the inheritance of our fathers, and part of that is sex. That about having, well, I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to go into that because that would be a subject very fascinating and very long. I'm not going to go into that. But the only thing I can tell you is that the greatest motive that the people get to the churches, it is because of their greatest sexual guilt. And that is absolutely proven. I've listened to it like a son of a pastor. I would listen to those that people would declare it is the greatest guilt, sexual guilt that they have. And they don't know what to do with it because they would wish to be quote-unquote pure. But since it's kind of like if to say I'll be pure and I'm not going to eat anymore. But then you get the hunger, the brutal hunger says, oh, but the purity is to not eat. And then those that look at the sun and they die. Purity is not to eat or not to fuck. Oh, you know, who the fuck are we listening to? That's the way it is. Purity has nothing to do with it. That's the way it is. Says, but what are you saying? What I'm saying is what I'm saying. Men place their muscles, their mind, their life on a permanent basis in work, at risk to get the bread for their houses. How many people die because they have to do dangerous things, dangerous in the way they play, they risk their lives. Tired muscles without wanting to do anything to be able to feed their family. And what do humans say? Oh, what an honorable person. He exposes his life. He does dangerous things. You know what it is to go up and risking your life to work. Why do they do them? To feed his family. Now, if we look at a prostitute, which also uses her muscles, we'd say, what a fucking degenerate. That is a perversion. And I'm saying even that is more intelligent. They risk their lives. A prostitute, she gives a service to top it off. That service is joy. It is something honest, an ecstasy. She doesn't get home tired or dead. And precisely, I'm going to explain something else. Precisely, we see that as degrading. But I tell you, more degrading is to work like a son of a bitch to feed the family and for them to pay a misery. That's a lot more degrading. That's the way it is. That's the way I see it. What preacher could ever tell you that? No one, and even less with a Boca Junior jersey on, and even less with a Boca Junior jersey. You know why they mistreat the prostitutes when it should be a work that is super honorable and super respectable? Because some prostitutes, if this were normal, we should see them as doctors, sex doctors, specialists in finishing and doing away with masculine problems. I'm not talking about something stupid. You're talking to somebody that has never listened to what you're listening to. It'd be a high esteem career. People would treat them well. You know why men mistreat and sometimes they kill the prostitutes? because they see them like dirty dogs, and that they have guilt because they use them, and so when they finish their business, because of the anger, they mistreat them. It's all a vicious cycle because they see that it's a dirty cycle, a dirty act, and so they see that that person, she's more than dirty. She's a fucking dog shit bitch. When they should say, you're a tremendous doctor that helps me. You made me feel well. I come with such problems, and you made me feel great. You see how everything is. But if we look at a woman frying chicken and people yelling at her, and oh, what a sacrificed woman. It's all on its head, depending on what they say, of course. Maybe some of the eternal truth. It's all religion. 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 Is sex is good or bad? Is clean or bad? Are you clean or impure? It's all religion. It's all religion. Well, what they exploit the most in the religious word is sex. Sex. And they exploit it in favor of them. They know that it is a necessity imposed by Yahweh, and they take it and says, come here, you son of a bitch. It's everything. And the pastors are the worst. The priests are the worst. Why? Because it is a necessity that encloses everything. And if you're a hypocrite, it'll be even worse. Oh, poor things, of course. They end up abusing the children. Okay, I have to wrap it up, so then I'll read this text and I'll explain it next week. It reads as follows. I'll read it to you. Those are the lords of theft and deceit. It's all religion. If I read the same text in Zephaniah 1:9, I'll read it to you in the Spanish DHH. Zephaniah 1:9 says, yes, I will punish those who participate in pagan worship ceremonies and those who fill with violence. It's not lords of theft. It is lords. They fill with violence and deceit their masters' houses. This has a concealed meaning? Absolutely. You know how you say violence? You know how you say violence in Hebrew? I've taught this. Okay, I've taught in Torah. You can say, no, years ago. Without the Boca Juniors jersey, you know what the violence word is? You know what the violence word is in Hebrew? I'll say, you say Hamas. The Hamas. Does it have anything to do with Gaza? It has a lot to do with Gaza. But we shall study that next Shabbat. So then what does this text say? It says, I shall also punish on that day those who leave with Hamas and deceit their masters' houses. They fill what? With Hamas. Does Hamas anything to do with these days? Absolutely. Absolutely. We didn't even get to the text of the invitation, but I have Leslie's authorization saying the food's here. We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up here. So then, the destiny is written in Zephaniah and Revelation in a special group. And the end is inevitable. The end is inevitable. And what Zephaniah says, it is the written destiny, and it is already the end, and it'll be inevitable. Let us wrap up with a word of prayer. Beloved Yahweh, we give you thanks because you make us read what you hid in Zephaniah and what it means hidden by you, and we can read it openly. We can read it without the cover because you're preparing a special group, a unique group, a group that knows who they are, that mustard seed that will grow and grow, that stone that will strike the statue and will grow and grow and will fill all the earth. Thank you for everything. We are waiting, and we know that in 7 days you shall speak. We are with attention, expecting that you will speak from your boca from Rio de Janeiro, where the image of a Mashiach is as a Christ, Christ Redeemer, the greatest. There you chose to speak in a mystic place filled with people. The world won't understand, and we know that. They will hear thunder somewhere, something else, but your children will understand. If the time is up, if you give the 7 symbolic angels the 7 cups by your mouth, your boca, we shall know. Our desires of starting with Sukkot, desires of living Sukkot and getting to the 7th day and listening to you speak. We are living with such excitement and really enthused to a level that makes it very difficult to wait. But we'll listen to your word in your precious name, Yahweh Sabaoth. Hallelujah. Semper Fi. Yes.
Semper Fi.
All that asked for forgiveness, Leslie said they are forgiven, and I also, we forgive everyone because they did not act up to par and learn. Because this happens so that you learn, so that next time you act in a way, you say, what is this motive? What am I watching? What is the motive? For what motive did he do this? Is he looking for personal glory, or is he looking for people to hear from this and from them to join or not? Learn to discern always on a permanent basis the authenticity where the fountains, the source of the water is and when there isn't. Let the laurels be eternal that we knew how to achieve. Crowned with glory, let us live. I wholeheartedly desire that next Shabbat, for you to enjoy Sukkot in a very Mexican way of saying, a todo dar is like to the max. Do they use that in Guatemala? No? It's Mexican, a todo dar, which means to the max, extremely well. Don't drink so much alcohol. We're not going to drink any alcohol so that you're sober and enjoy, but be in attention. Get a jersey, a Boca jersey, whichever, a Chinese one, a strange apparel, whichever, and enjoy and pay attention when Yahweh will speak in Sukkot. So then I wholeheartedly wish for Yahweh to tell us the good news, and only by that reason do I want it. Not because a club here on earth, earthly, none of that, honestly. I say it because it will fill my soul for Yahweh to talk to us, speak to us, and say the 7th cup are done. And what's happening in Gaza with the violence or Hamas, I've told you already in Zephaniah, and also in other chapters that we'll study, which it'll take its time. It'll be pretty, but how I would like to hear the words of Yahweh for them to say what we all want to hear, that it's over. Hallelujah to every one of you. Enjoy, get prepared, and rejoice in Sukkot. And have a good one. Greetings from all of us, that we can have a video. But greetings from Leslie's, Angelina's, Brian's, and my behalf to each and every one of you. Her jersey hasn't arrived, but she does have them, but she's not wearing the Boca jersey. Exactly. But I have a lot more jerseys. We have waiting for the new one. We'll show them next Shabbat. Hallelujah to each and every one of you, and enjoy Sukkot. Enjoy Sukkot with that with that emotion that we're waiting for something. We're waiting for something. The first Sukkot that we lived back in the 2011. We're waiting for anything, and nothing happened. Nothing absolutely happened. But here, When did anybody tell you? With anticipation, the mouth of Yahweh will speak, and the mouth of Yahweh will speak. From the Christ Redeemer, the greatest in the world, in Rio of January, which is a different meaning. I'll give it to you later. Because Rio de Janeiro, it means the river of January, which means interesting. And speaking a very special occasion. And Yahweh will speak. Is this guy crazy? Yeah, we are crazy. But we're crazy and united. And we're crazy for LV. Of course we're crazy. We are crazy. Yahweh will speak in 7 days. Hallelujah to every one of you. I wasn't even asked for the applause. Long live the Sanesa bride of Yahweh. And you're all forgiven as long as you learn. That's it, Leslie's forgiveness. They're all excused if you learn. Hallelujah to every one of you.
Se aprenden. Aleluya para cada uno.